All right, we are live with the FI Resellers, Camilla and Khang. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well, thanks.
Yeah, doing great. Happy
Thanks.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You guys got big plans for the weekend?
Yeah, we're going to be going to Austin on Sunday to go thrifting because we love the bins there. After 78 pounds, once you hit that marker, it's 99 cents a pound. And that's like some of the best pricing that you can find pretty much throughout the US. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So 78-pound minimum is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so we leave our house at like 5 a.m. and drive to Austin to get there by the time they open at 8 and then stay until like 5. They have like, tables in the front where you can sit and have your lunch. So Khang will go and get lunch and I'll stay with our carts and stuff. And then we'll sit down and eat lunch and then continue throughout the day. So
it's a whole day.
Like 8 hours, like a whole work day,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a full day is what that sounds like to me.
Yep. What about you? You got any cool plans?
No, not really. I'm just I think I'm going to be doing some editing and getting caught up, and I'm thinking about making a video for all of this Amazon Prime stuff that I bought for Prime Day. I didn't realize it was going to be in the shot until I started turning the camera on, but yeah, I bought a lot of stuff on Prime Day. Target had sales, and then Walmart had sales, so my credit card took a beating this past weekend.
That's a huge thing.
But let's go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat here, everyone that's hanging out with us on a Friday night. Got Kobe, got Big Cheese Thrift. How's it going?
Big Cheese.
Nice.
Cheese. Lee Hamlin's in the house. How's it going, Lee? Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Did you guys hear that? It sounded like kind of an echo or something.
No, I think we're okay.
Okay. All right, just making sure. Happy birthday is in the house. Hi, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Salem.
Yeah.
R&R, Rob and Renee are in the house. Thanks for being here tonight, guys.
Rescue and resell. All right.
Yeah.
Kobe's saying we got a lot of FBA stuff. Yeah, that's where most of the stuff is going to go. It's fulfillment by Amazon. I'll be shipping that in. So.
Oh, interesting.
And this is a new name for me, Scott Okeril. Is that right?
Your guess is best as good as ours.
I think it's safe to just be like, hey, Scott, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Scott.
Yeah.
And we got Profit Monsters in the house. Drew, what's going on? Thanks for being here.
Nice.
So I want to introduce you guys. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys the big screen. You guys can kind of introduce yourselves and talk about what you do and what you're all about, and introduce us to the FI Resellers.
Yeah, so we're Camilla and Khang. We are part-time resellers located in Houston, Texas, and we started reselling a little over a year ago, but kind of more seriously in May of last year, so May of 2020. And we sell on Poshmark and on eBay and a little bit on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
The majority of our items are clothing. That's where we started. The way we actually started reselling is I have an Instagram account that I began selling directly through Instagram and built a little community up there around vintage clothing, but had some things that didn't sell on Instagram because I only had, whatever number of followers, that's who saw the post. It wasn't such a big audience. So I put some things up on Poshmark. They sold, kind of caught that bug of like, ooh, I like selling on these other platforms. It seems like a lot more people are
we like making money.
Yeah.
Right.
And so decided to expand out that way. And part of the reason we resell is to earn some extra money to accelerate our journey to financial independence. So we use the profit from this to be able to invest and, grow our net worth and our ability to one day, hopefully, not have to work for money anymore, that our money will be making enough money on its own through investments and, through interest, that it will cover all of our expenses. So that's the end goal. But in the meantime, we work full time and then do this, part-time hours and divide the work between the two of us as a team. So it's been working out really well.
Yeah. So I do a lot of the YouTube stuff and I help out with, obviously all of the reselling stuff, but Camilla's the boss. So in her name is all of the reselling stuff. So she's got the full reins on that. So that's kind of how our team works, where I do, most of the YouTubing stuff and she does most of the reselling stuff.
Yeah. So our goal is that eventually it would be that sort of like I would be a full-time reseller and he would be a full-time YouTuber. Yeah. Is the way that we're hoping to one day get to, but we'll see.
Yeah. That's what kind of looks like, Harry Tornado is doing, but we'll see.
Okay. So you guys already have the division of labor set up, like planned out.
Yeah.
So you guys are hoping maybe one day you can make some videos like that too. Be like, yep, she quit her job and she's doing this full time, and now I'm quitting my job, and but yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of the dream, the dream. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That's great. I have reseller friends, and I know people that have done this, but it's not very often that you meet a lot of reseller couples that are really into it. Kind of on the same level and have the same goals and stuff. So that's really cool that you guys, that you're both into it. So how did, now you guys recently got married too, right?
Yeah, that's right. About 2 months ago.
Yeah.
A little over 2 months ago. So yeah, we're very excited to, kind of go full steam because we didn't live together before we got married. And so now that we're kind of in the same space together, we are constantly talking about this stuff, doing all these things that, is really going to push us forward.
Yeah. I remember that. I've seen in your videos you guys said that you had gotten married recently, but I also knew because you said she was the boss. I was like, okay, obviously they're married. He's already got that down. Smart, very smart guy.
Yeah.
But just see a few more people jumping in the chat. Just want to say hi. Brickhouse Salvage and Antiques. I think that's a new name for me.
Yeah, same for us.
Jeff said, "Did Justin say he's quitting his job?" No, I'm not quitting my job, Jeff. We were talking about Josh Harry Tornado, how his wife Haley quit her job, and now they're both full-time reseller YouTubers. And that sounds like that's what Camilla and Khang would like to end up doing one day.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But okay, so let's see. David's got a question: how to get any tips on Nintendo, Pokemon, or Amazon? I can't really offer any tips on how to do the Nintendo or Pokemon, like that kind of stuff, because you have to buy from like a distributor and then apply with invoices and stuff like that. And I don't have any companies that I use for that. So like toys, different stuff like that, I could talk about toys, but yeah, I'm not, I don't have any of those sources right there. But Kobe said, make sure that the title says free tax write-off. So, okay. So you guys mostly do, you said like eBay, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We did Mercari for a little bit, but we are honestly really bad about remembering to take things off of platforms when they sell on a separate platform. So we try to really keep it simple at this point.
Yeah. We're very strategic about our Facebook Marketplace stuff. Too.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said you had you have a Facebook Marketplace deal set up later tonight.
Yeah, we've got a pair of shoes that are being sold. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have like certain things that go on different platforms? Like for Facebook Marketplace, I do a lot of like bigger stuff that I don't want to mess with, like heavy stuff that I don't want to ship. And I do Amazon and eBay and stuff like that too. So do you guys have like specific items for each platform you have like set out?
Yeah. So we start with eBay at the top. We post everything there first, and then we lag the Poshmark because what happens is that eBay is the best seller for us, or the best selling platform. And so if it sells on eBay, quickly, then we don't have to post it on Poshmark. It's mostly a lazy thing, right? Yeah. We don't want to do the extra work to have to cross post. and we don't pay for a cross-posting program. So, we're doing it manually for now. And then Facebook Marketplace, the bigger things like you mentioned, kind of in that realm, and a few other things that we think might be that target audience. So for example, we sold like $200 worth of Afghans on Facebook Marketplace, but they didn't sell on eBay first. So we kind of are now gauging that, maybe there's a different type of audience there. So we'll see.
Now you said Afghans. Now, are those quilts? Is that what we're talking about?
No, not quite. Almost.
Yeah, so these were like crocheted, so they were made out of yarn. And so those are also can be worth some money, depending on the pattern. Like one really popular pattern is granny square. A lot of people are looking for that pattern. But then we also sold like a zigzag sort of design.
A chevron.
Yeah, and then one that was like flowers, and it was a 3D sort of flower design. So they all sold for about $70, which is really good. We paid about $15 for them, so we did pay up for these, but
we're kind of in that realm now.
we're looking in the linen section, the linens bin. So once you're there, you are like picking up more stuff.
Yeah, people are kind of passing those up.
So does that make it easier? Like if you guys go to the bins and you're like, all right, we have a 38-pound limit. Let's find the heaviest Afghans or the heaviest quilts we can find.
Yeah, we are definitely trying to hit a certain threshold. So here in Houston, at a regular one that we go to, we try to hit 51 pounds because it starts off at $2.19 per pound, and once you hit 50 or more pounds, it goes down by 50 cents per pound. So we've done the calculation, and here in Houston, between 43 and 50 pounds, if you get to 43, you might as well get 51 pounds because it's the same. You're getting free stuff. So that's kind of how we do it. And I don't know that it happens so much throughout the US that there is a threshold, but that's how it works here.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I see we got a lot of people jumping in the chat here, so we'll say hi to everybody. Adam said he's here. YouTube notifications are always late. It's okay. I was almost late, so it's totally fine.
Hey, Adam.
Thanks for being here, Adam. Kevin, Ray is in the house. Thanks for being here.
Nice.
Kevin's always cracking me up. Like whenever he sees my videos, he's always like, the Walmart clearance god doesn't miss.
Hey, he ain't lying.
It's true.
You're killing it, Justin.
Yeah, he's like, and then like if I put up a Target video, he's like, the Target god doesn't miss. I'm like, should I change my name? He's like, no, don't change your name. He's like, I'm just letting you know. I was like, all right, well, thank you. NGA Flippa, thanks for being here. Cheryl said good night, everyone. Good night. I don't know what time it is for you. Kobe said, how's everyone's eBay doing? Mine is just consistently slow, but that's because I don't list a lot on eBay. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's kind of up and down. Like some days we'll have a lot of sales, and then other days we'll have nothing. Our store is on sale right now. Like we're running a promotion. So I think that might be helping things, but we don't pay attention to it that much. We mostly pay attention to the average, and this month we've been doing pretty well. So day to day kind of is up, down, whatever. But it always seems to average out over a longer period of time. So.
Okay. So do you guys focus more on like a 7-day average or like a monthly average? Like our goal is to like hit, $500 a week or something like that.
Yeah. So we do monthly goals. So we have, the goal for each month is to make at least $1,750 in profit. And that reaches it's a yearly goal.
Yeah, overarching. 21,000.
It's 21,000 for
2021.
2021. So
it's very arbitrary.
Yeah.
So it also is kind of a stretch goal. At the beginning of the year, it was a stretch goal for us because the previous year it was about 1,500. We were kind of climbing, and to set it at 1,750 each month was a bit of a stretch goal. But now we're trying to stretch ourselves even more.
Yeah.
And I guess it's maybe the natural order of things where you're evolving and hopefully you're selling more. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's good.
We've we've been growing our store and all of that kind of stuff where you continually list, consistent each day, your store grows, there's more opportunity for people to buy things. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good. So that's where I'm lacking is consistency. Like I will list like 10 things on eBay if I get the spirit, if I get the feeling, but otherwise I'm like, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, but you're mainly Amazon, right?
Yeah. So the majority of my sales are like, I'm like 80-20. I'm like 80% Amazon, like 20% eBay. And the reason I like Amazon so much is just because I can ship a lot of stuff to their warehouse.
Right.
Just like these lovely boxes right here. When I take the time to unbox and then rebox and then ship in, it'll all be out of my house and then I just don't have to worry about it.
Right. Yeah, so we should really consider that because one of our issues is storage. Storage. Goodness.
But you guys are like super organized though, don't you? Have like bins and like numbered or coded or whatever?
Yeah, we have them numbered and it's going pretty well. But the more clothes we want to get, we have to just be more conscious of it because we are running out of space.
Okay. Well, you're picking up 50 pounds of clothes at a time. I can see how you run out of space.
Right.
Kevin says, what's your guys' best flip to date profit wise?
That's probably got to be that Build-A-Bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we early on, I think in October of last year, we went to the bins and we picked up this Build-A-Bear, and it was a lemur. And we had just recently watched a video by Emily Conway. She had gone through like some of the top Build-A-Bear sales on eBay. And so we had never picked up anything other than clothes at that point. And I flipped it over and was like looking at it, and I looked it up, and there was only one that had sold for like, I think $200 or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so we took ours home. There weren't any listed. We listed it for $300 and it sold that night. I think we paid, we always average out, per item at the bins. And I think we paid like $1.90 or something. And
wow.
Yeah. So, and it sold, within a few hours, $300 plus some shipping. So
that's awesome.
We made about $300 on it. Yeah. It was great.
We have still not surpassed that since.
Yeah.
Right.
At least in terms of profit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to top, but I mean, that's fantastic. I only recently learned about Build-A-Bears, maybe the past few months. Like now I have a better idea of what to look for. But Emily does a great job with those videos. Like, here's all the squishmallows to look for, and here's some that can sell for like $500. I'm like, this is insane. There's no way.
Yeah. The thing that she taught us really from that, I guess if there's anything to say about it, is that as long as it's if it's not a bear, you should look it up. Yeah,
if it's a different animal. Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking for Build-A-Bears that are not bears.
Exactly.
Roger that. iClaw Machine said, do you guys do yard sales on the weekends?
Yeah, sometimes, but it is hot here in Houston. Yeah. And I think what we've come to find is that people in Houston want top dollar for pretty much everything. And I don't think there's like a culture of yard sales. Like we watch the Cincinnati Picker and a lot of other people go into yard sales consistently on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
Everywhere else. And we only have a few here and there. Yeah. And Houston is just so big that I don't want to be driving us, half an hour or an hour to the other side of town. So it's kind of difficult to do yard sales in Houston. Also, it's humid. So I don't know if you've ever been to Houston, Justin, but it is humid and hot. Yeah. Terrible combination.
Yeah. No, I have not had the opportunity to go, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
So you got a few other people saying hi. Chaos for Hire. That's a new one for me.
Nice.
Thanks for being here.
Welcome.
Flipping Flip. I've heard that name before. I don't know their first name. Do you guys?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Let us know. Flipping Flip. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know. Also, if you guys have any questions for Camilla Khang about reselling, Poshmark, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Afghans, quilts, buying 50 pounds of clothes, saving money for retirement, anything like that. We got the experts on the show tonight. Now, something that I think is pretty impressive. Now, you guys actually, you both work full time, and eBay, and then all of these other things. These are all like side gigs for you guys, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we try to aim for about 10 to 20 hours each on the side business, depending on, if we go thrifting that week or if we're just working from home. Like just on listing part of things, we probably spend about 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like taking pictures, listing, shipping, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you guys just try to like cap it. You're like no more than 20 hours a week, like total.
Yeah.
We try. We want some sort of balance, but this is kind of like the grind time where we really want to try to go hard and see if we can make something out of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's good. And you have your goal of 21,000 a year profit, and you're working X amount of hours. So I mean, it sounds like you guys already have it pretty well figured out.
Yeah, we're on track.
Yeah.
Okay. Troy said, "What is the strangest thing you've ever sold, other than a lemur Build-A-Bear?"
Yeah. I don't know.
So I saw that comment and I was just thinking about it, and I was the Victoria's Secret what's it called? The inserts. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird because I'm not a woman.
We sold these they're like gel inserts, and you put them inside your bra, and then any bra is a push-up bra at that point.
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even know that was a thing. So okay, we're all learning something here. Please educate us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, I don't know, silicone basically, and I guess it's kind of like you test out if you want a breast implant. I don't really know. I don't know if that would be the strangest thing. I feel like there's something really weird. Oh, it was another Victoria's Secret thing. We'll pick up Victoria's Secret like 90s and things like that. And we picked up this Victoria's Secret country. It was like a romper, but it was like fleece. It looks like a lamb. Like it looks like you would be in this and you would look like a little lamb. So I don't know, maybe someone bought it and is going to dress up like a lamb. Like it was this tiny little romper. Yeah. I don't know. So I thought that was really weird. I was like, I don't want to see.
Did that sell really quick, or did you just not buy it?
We picked it up. It sold, I don't know, in like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but a lot of attention. Like a lot of people were interested in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It did not seem comfortable to me, but.
Okay. Well, I mean, somebody was into it for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody wore that to a convention or something. So
right.
Cosplay maybe. Yeah.
Right. Was it the same person that bought the lemur Build-A-Bear?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Just to be on the safe side here. Yeah. Just curious.
Yeah.
Oh. iClaw said there were some exclusive Squishmallows and claw machines that were super hot. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. You guys sell Squishmallows? I've only sold them a few times. That's not really something I'm into right now.
No, we've got 2 that we might sell, but we had gotten them from one of our friends, the Garbage Monster, who sent them to us. So I don't know what we're gonna do with them yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to make sure our nieces don't see them. And then we can sell them. But if they see them, we might not be able to sell them.
Yeah. Yep. Just put them in a corner somewhere, or in a tote. Put them up on a tote that's high they can't reach. So
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin said, "How long have you guys been reselling?"
For about a little over a year now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it like, did you guys like start at the same time, or did Camilla start with it and then Khang was like, all right, I'm jumping into it too here?
Yeah. So I was doing it on my own first, mostly with the Instagram account. And then once I got into Poshmark and doing that, then Khang was like, oh, you're kind of making some money over there. Yeah. And at first he actually started his own closet. So one time we went to the bins and just shopped just for him. He had his own closet that was called Greatest William, like Goodwill, but like longer.
Better.
Nice.
Goodwill, Greatest William.
Yeah.
Nice play on words there.
Yeah.
We're pretty good at puns, but
yeah. But then we decided it would be better if we, combined and then divided out the work. That would be a better, workflow for us. So that's what we ended up doing, and then started eBay around that time when we combined all of our items and all of our kind of income together.
Yeah. Here's a question. How long have you been doing your hustle, Justin?
Pretty much my whole life, man.
Hustling since birth.
Pretty much. Like, I came out of the womb and I was looking for deals. I was like, can I get out of here? I got places to be. But you know, like kidding aside, like my dad got me into it when I was very young. He had a furniture store when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And he always loved taking me to like yard sales, garage sales, estate sales. I was like, I hate doing this. Why are you dragging me to these dirty, dusty, antique-filled places? Like, this is, I would never do this for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, 20 years later, I'm doing it for fun. But yeah, my dad got me into it when I was young, and he had a furniture store, and he kind of got me into it. And he had me start an eBay store when he had his furniture store. And I've kept the same eBay account ever since I had it, like with his store. So my eBay account is like 20 years old, which is kind of neat.
Nice.
So my dad got me into it. I worked for a auction company for a couple years after I graduated college, which was kind of cool. It was kind of like a eBay. Think of it like an eBay type place where like you would bid on stuff and then buy it, but then it's a local, so you'd have to go pick it up and then, you know, take your stuff home or whatever. So. Right. I did that for a couple of years, and then I moved to where I'm at now, and I kind of gave it up for a while, and then I got back into reselling, and I realized I had an older Amazon account, and because of that, I could do certain things, like I could sell in certain categories that most people couldn't sell in. When you have an account where you can sell stuff like Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, video games, PlayStation, Nintendo, like when you can sell all of these things, there's a lot of opportunity there that, like, once you tap into it, it's like, okay, well, it's hard not to do it.
Dang.
So the Amazon stuff, I've been doing it part-time for about 4 or 5 years.
Wow, nice. Yeah, you're at the top tier, sounds like.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while, and I can do a lot of categories that most people can't. And because I have an older account, I can do some things like I can, like, because you guys don't sell on Amazon, you probably hadn't heard this, but what they do is they do weekly, like bi-weekly payouts. So like when you sell stuff, it takes 2 weeks and then they pay you. But because I have an older account, I can do a daily payout request.
Whoa.
Really?
That's
so
cool.
like if I sell a whole bunch of stuff today, I can just be like, all right, transfer that money, and I have the money back tomorrow, and then I can just keep rolling.
Dang. Kevin says real OG. Definitely right. You are a real OG. Jeez Louise.
Appreciate you, Kevin.
Wow. That's awesome.
Appreciate you being here. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, I've been doing Amazon for a while. I've been doing eBay for a long time. And eBay for me is just kind of a slog, just because I don't like taking the time to do pictures and then write up the listings and all that stuff. It's much faster for me because I can do Amazon, and I basically just like scan a barcode, type in a couple things, and it's like, all right, next thing.
Right.
So, and I'm awful at clothes. So if you guys ever head out to Alabama, I will sell it to you in 50-pound lots, 99 cents a pound. Like, I have 6 or 7 totes of brand new clothes that I need to sell, and I just haven't touched them yet.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we will definitely buy those from you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, have you guys ever been to a Steinmart before?
Yeah. Did you go when they closed?
Yeah. So when they were closing, the Steinmart here in my area, I bought out the remaining inventory like a week before they closed.
Wow.
So yeah, so like behind me, these closets are full of like suits and polos and pants and shorts, and it's perfect stuff for springtime and summertime. And I really should be listing it right now.
Well, if you get too lazy and a year or 2 years goes by, you might as well keep it for 20 years, and then they'll be vintage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's vintage, and then I'm not hoarding. I'm saving.
Yeah.
I'm investing. I'm
Yeah.
saving for value.
Yeah. Exactly.
The value will increase, and then it'll pay dividends.
Right. Yeah. You know, because I want my money to work for me.
Yeah. Exactly. See, that's
the
why
goal,
we're talking right now.
Yeah.
That's right. So talking about like you know, financial independence and stuff like that. My goal, like, ultimately would be to end up having like real estate and like houses and stuff like that. But I think we've had maybe a conversation about that. Like, are you guys like going to get into real estate or house hacking, or have you thought about that approach at all?
Yeah. So I was re-inspired by kind of the Airbnb idea from watching one of your videos, one of your older ones where you had talked about it.
Right.
And I thought, we're kind of in the same position. You have the same mindset where you want your assets to kind of work for you. So we have an extra room that we're preparing in our house, and we hope to put it on Airbnb, kind of snowball that into maybe saving up for a down payment for a home, for a rental, and kind of going from there. But we do have that in kind of in the forefronts of our minds. It's actually very fresh right now, where we're preparing these things, but the housing market is just like way too crazy.
Right. Yeah. So to start to get into like owning rental property and stuff, we just feel like right now is not a great time to start in on that. So
but who knows if there will ever be another good time.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
There's a moratorium for trying to
like evictions, like rental
evictions and things like that.
Yeah, evictions and like foreclosures and
stuff. It got
stuff.
pushed back by Biden to July 31st, and we're kind of waiting to see what that means for the housing market. So I don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but it doesn't hurt to wait, because if it just keeps climbing, I mean, we're still trying to save up 20% for a down payment. So it kind of makes sense for us to wait.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. The house hacking stuff like that, I had that same mindset. Like I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and I use one room for my office and then one room is my master. And, I was like, I may as well just use this other room for something. And I reconfigured my whole house so I could use that room as an Airbnb.
Nice.
So like all of my locks, it's kind of funny. All of my locks are flipped around. So you can't get into my bedroom or the garage or any other room without a key, because I have the locks flipped around.
Nice.
So like when you're in the house, you can't get in the garage. Like the only rooms you could access if I locked them was the spare bedroom and then the spare bathroom. So, and then I set it up with like a digital door pad, on my front door. So when somebody would check in, I just text them the code and they were good to go. And I never had to worry because everything was locked up. And it worked out really well. I mean, for about a year, I did the Airbnb stuff. And it went pretty good. And then, everything happened, with all the craziness, and I was like, we're done.
Yeah.
So are you hoping to kind of start that back up, later this year once things are okay-ish?
Probably not. And that's just because like I'm using that room for a lot of storage right now.
Okay.
And I have so much stuff in there. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting to the point where like I'm going to be bursting at the seams if I get any more stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not too worried about it. Like the space is being used, because it's like either I use that space or I'd have to rent like a storage unit. So I've just, in my mind, it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
Plus there's something to be said for, having your own privacy and stuff like that. And I like that part of Airbnb, because like I could turn it off and on whenever I wanted to. Like I was like, if I want to make extra money, I'm like, okay, I can rent out a room. And if I don't, I can just, turn it off and just leave it off. So I did it for a while. And even though I technically haven't rented a room in over a year, I'm still a super host on Airbnb.
Nice.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Put that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, technically I still am, and I could, but I don't have any plans right now in the immediate future, but we'll see.
Nice.
Well, Rob and Renee have a question for you guys.
Okay.
They're asking what dictates the value on an Afghan.
Yeah. So I honestly think for Afghans, the style is what gives it value. So the ones that we picked up are kind of unique. Like the one we sold most recently, it was like this 3D flower. And honestly, I just thought it was really cool. It seemed like something that would fit into that kind of cottage core trend that you would see people, have in their little, stylized pictures. And then another one that was kind of a zigzag print, but it was in like shades of green, which to me, that kind of says like 70s style. So if someone had kind of like a mid-century modern house, they might want an Afghan that looks like that. And then the last one was granny square, which granny square Afghans are valuable because it's kind of memorable for people. you know,
classic.
Yeah, classic, exactly. Yeah, yes, yeah. They said, you know, boho, farmhouse, retro, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see something and you think you could see it in a magazine or something like that, that is what gives it value. So you have to kind of go in style with it.
Yeah. So basically, you just have to know what's cool. You just
yeah. So get on TikTok, you know, follow a couple of aesthetics, you know, and you'll be on the cutting edge. That's at least the way I do it anyway.
Afghans, I think, are like on the line of clothing where you kind of have to know the styles that are popular to make an educated guess on them.
Yeah. Kevin has the same question. I've thought this too, but what is an Afghan? But it's like a blanket that's like knitted out of yarn is kind of what you were explaining earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So they're either knitted or crocheted, and they're made out of yarn instead of like other blankets. They're made out of like fabric, you know. So think of it as like that.
Yeah. And they command a certain price because the labor that you have to put into it just to make one of these things.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just kind of scrolling through here, making sure I'm not missing any questions here. Colby had one for you. Do you guys have like a nemesis? Do you guys have a reseller rival that you run into and like they go for the quilts first and you're like, I don't think so.
No. So, we don't really see a lot of resellers out. I mean, we go to the Goodwill outlet, the bin. So like most people there are resellers, but it's not like we see another person like that we follow on Instagram or anything like that. Okay. There is one person. There are a couple people at the bins who, you know, can get kind of aggressive in the, you know, when new bins come out, they'll kind of like elbow you or like try to grab something out of your hands and things.
Kang? Does he do that? Does he get real aggressive?
No.
All right. I don't want to get into altercations, so I can't do it.
Yeah. So usually what we always do is we always just kind of like let the other person, you know, have it. Occasionally what will happen, like one time someone took something out of my hands and someone else like stuck up for me, and like made the other person like give it back to me, which I was like, wow, I would not do that for you. So thank you. Like I would not be inserting myself into a conflict. So I'm really thankful for you. Yeah.
Well, that's cool that somebody was able to help you out like that too. But I don't know. I haven't had very good luck at the bins. I've tried a couple times, but I don't really have any in my area. And like if I wanted to go to one, I'd have to drive to Nashville.
Well.
And if I went to Nashville, there's other places I would go sourcing. So I haven't had much luck. I don't have much of an incentive to be like, yeah, let me go, you know, do that. But I don't have a good eye. So you're talking about like, you have to have a good eye for style and clothes. Like I don't have style. What are you talking about?
Well, here's part of our thing is that we really enjoy it. And so we don't often think about it as work because we're just there, just doing our thing, you know, and digging.
It's
part of the treasure hunt thing, and that's kind of the incentive for us is that sometimes we don't even think about it as, you know, how much are we wasting time doing this? We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good. That's you know, that it's not work for you, or that it is, but you still enjoy it, and that you have that mindset that you're still, you know, enjoying getting a kick out of it.
Yeah. Is that how you feel about, you know, these secret clearances?
Yeah, so it's like I get to go shopping for fun, and I get to make videos about shopping, and I get paid, and it's like honestly it's a really neat thing because I enjoy doing this stuff. Like I said, when I didn't enjoy it when I was a kid, and my dad made me do these things. He didn't make me, but it was, you know what I mean. When I was a kid, you know, garage sales were stupid and a waste of time, and now it's like a treasure hunt, and I'm like, video game. You know, I go to a video game store, and I'm like, check out this Pokemon Switch that's got these Pokemon on it, and I can buy this and I can resell it. Like I know I can make some money, and I get amped up.
Yeah, the deals, they're too good.
Yeah, I'm all over it. So like sometimes my better half, she has to like calm me down. She's like. That's good. She's like, are you on camera? I'm like, no. She's like, all right, well, turn it down, you know. So real quick, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I want to say hi to everybody that's hanging with us on Friday night. Dayton Valley Deals.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Hey.
Derek's in the house. You guys know Derek.
Derek. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Peace.
How's it going?
Patrick said hi. Patrick's got the sexiest radio voice out there. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it.
We've heard it. Yeah, we've heard
really?
it.
Man, that guy. James in the house. Weirdo Fam says, where do you guys buy your clothes to resell?
Mostly the Goodwill outlets, the bins, as most people call it.
Yeah, and then another kind of local chain in Texas that's called Family Thrift, and we go to their outlet centers. So that's another really cheap place to buy clothes.
Yeah. So our business model is very much keep our costs low.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are doing your best to keep costs low so you can maximize profit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing is that, especially as you're a beginner, which we still consider ourselves beginners, we don't want to take big risks on things because we might not make that back. Whereas if we keep our risk low, we, put in the hard work, we can, make that money work for us. So we're happy to do that.
Yeah. What we've noticed with kind of certain business models, especially with clothing reselling, is that, if you start off at the bins and you have these lower dollar items and you don't have a lot of capital to start with, this is like the best way to start as you build up your experience, as you build up your capital to work with, and more as you experiment, right? Because, you don't want to risk $50 on one item when you're just starting out and have it sit for, 3 months when you could be selling multiple items and regaining that capital and reinvesting that. And so that's kind of our mindset on a lot of things, really.
Okay. So I've watched quite a few of your videos, and you guys do a really good job of like explaining, this is what we bought. Here's the brand. This is why, we think this is a good buy. So I definitely think anyone that wants to learn about clothing, learn about, reselling stuff, trying to find stuff with high margins, you guys definitely need to check out their channel. I just put the link in the chat. It's already in the description. If you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to them. Feel free to hit us with any question you guys might have. I'm just kind of scrolling through. Got somebody else. Phoenix Flippers in the house.
Hey.
It just jumped. Rebecca said hi. Camilla Khang and Justin. How's it going, Rebecca?
Hi, Rebecca.
Looks like I've got a quick Amazon question here. Let me take care of Big Junior 75. Let's go ahead and get this squared away for you. I don't want to ignore any Amazon questions that pop up. But their question said, would you recommend paying the monthly fee for Amazon or paying the by item fee? And for anyone that's in the chat that's curious about the Amazon stuff, what they're talking about is, as a seller on Amazon, there are two plans. There's an individual plan, and then there's a professional plan. The individual plan is free. So like if you guys wanted to sign up for Amazon and like give it a try selling books, it's free, but you pay $1 extra per item that sells. So then there is a professional plan that is $40 a month, but you don't pay that like $1 per item fee. So the easiest way like to calculate that is if you're selling more than 40 items a month, do the professional. But I recommend, if you're just starting out, you just want to give it a try. I would do the individual plan because it is free and kind of get your feet wet with selling books and stuff around the house to kind of learn how to use the system. And then as you gain more confidence and more traction and feel better about selling stuff on there, then I would upgrade to the professional plan for $40 a month, because then you can get into newer categories.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like you just got to figure out that break even point, right? It's kind of similar in the sense of eBay, where, you start off with a certain amount of listings that are free, and then they cap you, and then you got to buy a store. So you got to figure out where that break even point is.
Right.
Okay. Troy said, do Pearl Snap shirts sell well? I know they used to. This is a question for you guys. I'm not much of a clothing guy here.
Yeah, so they still sell well. That is still something that people look for. I don't know how they used to sell, so I don't know if they sell better or worse than they used to, but we definitely tag items with Pearl Snap, and if we see them, we pick them up. And we've sold some, for $25, depending on the brand, to, $50, upwards of that. So.
Yeah. If people are curious about what Pearl Snaps are, they're the buttons.
Yeah.
They're the buttons.
Yes, please explain what Pearl Snaps are. Thank you.
Mostly Western wear, right?
Yeah.
It's a very defined thing in Western wear where you have these buttons that look like little pearls. And instead of buttoning them up with the, it snaps on rather than, with the button and going through the little buttonhole.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get into cowboy wear too often, but that makes sense.
Yeah, we find a lot of it in Houston. So we sell a lot of Pearl Snap shirts and cowboy boots and Wrangler jeans. We sell a lot of Wrangler jeans, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right, awesome. So that's a new one for me. So that's, we don't have too many cowboys in Alabama, so I don't think I would see pearl wear too often.
Yeah.
So we got a new name in here, the Garbage Monster. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah. We love his channel. So you should watch his channel for garage sales and kind of like bite-sized videos. He shows you exactly what he's picking up, and he shows you the comps, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Exactly what you want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so like no fluff, right?
Exactly, no fluff.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Camilla and Khang say you guys need to check out the Garbage Monster for reselling information, learning stuff, and no fluff.
Exactly.
Okay. Rob and Renee said they just subscribed. So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. You guys go ahead and take a hint from Rob and Renee. Go ahead and do the same thing. It feels good. Don Harrelson said, nice pop in on Phoenix Resale. You guys should do more videos with the cross-pollination of top resellers. Well, thank you for watching that. I appreciate that. I don't know. Do you guys watch Phoenix Resale? He's got like a big video game channel.
I watched a few of his. I first got on he got on my radar, I guess, through Cheap Finds Gold Mines.
Sure. That
video, and then I saw him again through your channel, and I think he's doing excellent. I look at his kind of his YouTube stats, and I'm always fascinated by everyone's stats and stuff. And he's doing a killing on YouTube, and he's doing great. But I don't know, we just aren't into that yet, right? I personally am kind of into buying and reselling electronics, and I'm fascinated by video games, but I don't know. I just can't. We don't find enough of them. So
I
don't know.
A couple weeks ago, we went to like this community garage sale, and I swear we were like, I don't know, 5 minutes behind someone who was selling video games, because we would go up and Khang would say like, do you have any video games? And everyone was like, oh, I just sold them like 10 minutes ago. And then finally we caught up to him, and we like saw him ask the people at the last garage sale, and we're like, no.
This guy got a PS2 bundle for $20.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my god. Missed out.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys do have a rival.
Yeah, maybe we
just
do.
Don't
maybe
know their
it's
name.
that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing amazing on his channel. He was at a video game conference here in Alabama, and
watch that video of yours.
Yeah, well, I had kind of forgotten he was going to be there, and then he posted it like the day of on his Instagram. He's like, "Hey, I'm here at this, convention or whatever," and I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll head up there and say hi." And then I had a flat tire when I was heading up there, and I was like, "Maybe this just isn't meant to be." And then I fixed it, and I was good to go. And I went up there and surprised him and hung out with him, and he's a really cool guy, very smart, very humble, very down to earth. It was a lot of fun to hang out, and I always enjoy talking to other content creators, because you kind of get their ideas about stuff and how they look at things, because we all look at it differently. And I feel like we can all learn from each other. Yeah.
The best part of that video was his reaction, hands down. Like, he is such a genuine dude. He was genuinely happy to see you and surprised to see you. So I thought that was just so cool. like I said, I watched some of his videos just to see kind of what he's about, and he seems like a very genuine dude. So that reaction was perfect.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, and I wish my camera had been on this side, so I would have caught more of his reaction. But you kind of saw it. But yeah, he was like, he was like, he was really excited, and that was genuine, and we talked for a bit, and that was a good time. So I definitely, enjoy trying to work with other people and collab with other people, and sometimes that's easy to do, like doing stuff like this, and sometimes it's a lot harder. But it's always good to try to work with other people, because you can, everyone has something to bring to the table.
Yeah, exactly.
So, iClaw said, did I go back to that Walmart and buy all the 3DS games? Yes, I did. Yes, we can. I had somebody like, this Walmart guy was like, you can only have one of each. And I'm like, according to who? And he's like, well, that's the rule. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was in the same video though, right?
Yeah. So I went in one video. I went, and the guy was like, you can only have one each, and I was like, fine, whatever. And I went back the next day, and I had another employee was like, you can only buy two. That's the company rule. And I'm like, these rules are changing so quickly. And then I got my two per game, and then when that guy walked away, I went back in and talked to another employee, and he's like, you can just get them all.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah. Nice. And then my favorite part was the guy gets back to the counter and he calls for help. And I was like, crap, this other employee is going to roast me. And he calls for help. And I'm like, just check me out. And then his phone starts ringing, and he literally, I got it on camera. He literally takes the phone, unhooks it, and he just keeps going. I was like, sweet.
Yeah. Solid.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I was chuckling. I got that on camera.
Yeah.
iClaw said, what about vintage Nickelodeon or cartoon shirts? How about those? You guys think those are worth selling?
Vintage, pretty much anything shirts I've seen sell. We follow a lot of clothing reseller, and that includes Rally Roots, and they sell a ton of vintage shirts. The graphic shirts.
Yeah, but we've never picked up like vintage Nickelodeon or cartoon shirts. At the Goodwill bins, the competition for especially vintage tees is like super intense. Yeah. So we aren't really looking. Like if we see something, we'll pick it up, but most of the time we're not the first one seeing it, because there's someone that is like, that is the only thing that they sell.
Yeah.
And so they're only looking for that, versus like, we'll dig through the whole bin because we're looking for everything.
Yeah. A few months ago, we were trying to figure out what these guys were doing, because we were talking, and we would always see these guys go in to these bins when they're fresh. They're just doing a lot of this. They're searching for something, and we would ask, what the heck are they searching for? It turns out it's vintage tees. Yeah. So they know exactly what they want, and they're going fast and furious.
Yeah.
Yep. So they have their own system. They're like, I'm looking for this, like this kind of vintage tees, just get out of my way. And they're just, going right through.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably like a quarter of the people at the bins are like those type of guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The ones that'll like elbow you as soon as the new bin of garbage comes out. They're like, yeah, this is mine. I have nothing against that. I've just never had good luck at the bins. I've tried to go to those like Amazon stores where they, and I know it's a completely separate thing, but like I don't have good luck at those either. So I'm just like, you guys can keep the bins. I'm happy for you, and then clothing. Clothing is not my jam. I'll just put it that way.
Right.
That's all right. You're doing a lot of very cool stuff with your channel, so we don't blame you whatsoever. Stick with what you know, and you're doing. We're all kind of just doing our own thing. So
yeah. You always want to branch out and try something new, and sometimes you get FOMO. You see people posting like, "Oh, I sold this vintage shirt for like $500." I'm like, I could do that. That's
right. Yeah.
I'm like, and then I go look at shirts, and I'm like, these all have holes, and these are stupid, and the clothing is stupid. I'm just,
we're usually not ever that lucky either, so we don't blame you.
Yeah.
Right. Just kind of scrolling through here. Cheryl said that she subscribed to you guys too.
Awesome, thank you.
Appreciate that. Chaos for Hire just subbed to both of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Love to have you.
I appreciate that. You guys are going to learn a lot from them over there. You're just going to learn how to get turned down by Walmart employees from me. That's all I got to say. Christina said just sub to both of you guys' channel and the Garbage Monster. So you got a hat trick right there. Thank you.
Nice.
Troy said just subscribe to the FI Resellers. That's good.
Excellent.
Just subscribe to them. Don't worry about me. Just go hang with them. I'm cool with that. Christina said, I've enjoyed watching flipping account videos for some time. Didn't realize I wasn't sub. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's funny how that happens, huh?
So yeah,
I was looking at your stats, and your watch rate on some of these videos are like double, triple your sub count. So that's fascinating to me.
Yeah. So like analytics and stuff, like I've been getting more and more into that as far as like, how many subscribers versus non-subscribers, and then like the geographic locations, and then the age boundaries and stuff like that. So I think I had like one video that I posted on Instagram like one day. I looked at my metrics, and I know it was a glitch, but it said like gender viewership was like 100% female, 0% males, and I was like, hey, how we doing today? And then YouTube immediately, like the next day, like fixed it, and I was like, no, you had it right the first time.
Yeah.
Of course, they want to know the Walmart deals. All the ladies are just watching this one video.
And maybe it was the video where I started off by looking at like discounted tampons or something, because I had a video like that.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, I'm looking for clearance, and here's all these clearance like tampons and pads and stuff like this. And people in the comments were like, I can't believe you're doing this. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, I will go where the profits are. It's no big deal.
If there's money to be made, we're there.
Yeah, I'm like, I have no shame. I've sold bras. I've sold, all sorts of stuff. I'm like, as long as it's not illegal, like I'll sell it. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rocky Mountain Resale, Greg is in the house, and I believe it just jumped on me, but I believe he dropped a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Appreciate you. iClaw said, thank you guys for answering. I believe they were talking about the Nickelodeon cartoon shirts.
Yeah.
F3 in the house. Josh,
F3.
what's up, man?
Hey.
He said that he found 9 pairs of shoes today and they have to list them tonight. Well, that's awesome.
Nice.
Quint said, what advice do you have starting from the Netherlands? Well, maybe they're in the Netherlands, but how about tips on starting to like resell or starting to do on eBay, something like that? We'll take it from that angle.
I think something universal to be said, even if they're in the Netherlands, is that there's always going to be people throwing stuff away. Like if you find something on the curb or in the trash, there's probably going to be some value to it. But I think that, places like the Netherlands are very conscious of their trash and their waste. So it's probably going to be harder, but at the same time, people are always throwing stuff away. And there are ways to refurbish, there are ways to clean it up and just make it your own or to resell it. So that's kind of my general thoughts on reselling, is that there's probably something out there that you can go find, buy, and resell.
Yeah, or even just starting from, your own house, the things that you already have, asking friends and family if they are trying to get rid of anything that you could take and try to sell, just to start out, small, and then go from there. If they're, charity shops or, churches might have sales, things like that. Starting from that and then going from there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you guys, because I personally, I feel like we live in a world of excess, right? Like everyone has so much extra stuff and you don't even realize it, when people ask me about like how they can get started reselling, I suggest just like go around your house and look for extra, books or extra games, or, everyone has a junk drawer full of electronics that you could start selling. And we always just have so much extra stuff. And like you guys said, people throw stuff away, people put stuff on the curb. there's always going to be stuff out there to find, just because not everyone wants to put in the work like you guys are doing. Like you guys are full-time, working full-time, eBay, and doing YouTube. Like, I don't know how you guys have time to sleep. Like you guys just must stay busy like 24/7.
Yeah, we try to work on our processes too. I think there's something to be said about trying to make things as efficient as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my partner Bernie, he doesn't do anything to help me. He doesn't lift. He doesn't edit. I mean, he just lays around and sleeps and eats. And like my partner,
you should take him off the payroll.
I know, right? Like I'm not gonna. I can't. He's too cute. But
show him in more videos and in your Instagram even more than you have, and he'll gain you clout. So he'll pull his weight at that point.
Yeah. I think Josh and I were talking about that, something about like maybe having his dog as an actor, or we're paying him as an actor or something like that, just joking around. But I think what I might do is I might do like things that Bernie hates, because my dog, like he hates like watermelons. He hates lightsabers. Like if you pick up a lightsaber, like he'll just like start attacking you. So I might just like put in little things like, interject like a little clip, like, hey, here's a thing that Bernie hates for the day.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Bernie will have his own, fan base at that point. So
yeah, he's got a solid fan base on Instagram. I have people message me like, hey Justin, how's it going? I'm like, I'm good. They're like, how's Bernie? I'm like, like we haven't seen him in a while. I'm like, okay, well, here's a picture,
Nice.
But yeah, no, he's got a loyal fan base too. But Kobe's got a good question here. I think this is a pretty solid question. He said, what bad habit in your reselling life that irks the other person, and how do you deal with it?
That's a good one. I think that if we're being frank, sometimes it's just difficult when we have this full-time job and doing all these things that, stress kind of gets in the way of, being strictly business, because we're doing a lot of other things. And so, that can kind of spill over into reselling almost in some cases, whether we're, trying to find this one item, right? That maybe we messed up inventorying, and that gets really frustrating. That definitely, irks me. And, we've talked about that, and, we know that that's not going to, so here's my philosophy on mistakes, right? We've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and it's not going to be the last mistake we ever make. Sure. And so that's what I just got to keep reminding myself to. So even though it irks me, and, there are some times where it's like, I just try to remember that, it's not going to be the last time we're going to make a mistake. And if anyone thinks that they're perfect, well, wait until you make a mistake, and then you're going to beat yourself up. Yeah. So there's no point in beating yourself up. You just got to try to get past it. So, that's my honest answer. It does irk me that sometimes we just, don't put things in the right place, but it's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely. Putting things in the right place. I think that irks anybody, like trying to keep track of however many items you have. And, it seems like you guys have a pretty good system, but, when you have two people working it, you might put it somewhere and then be like, I know where it is. It's fine. No problem.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes that's how it is. I'm always asking her, hey, do you know where this thing is?
Yeah. It's much easier now that we live together, because before he would have to like FaceTime me to be like, where do you think this thing is? Whereas now he just like comes in to the other room and is like, you need to find this thing because it's not where the spreadsheet says it should be, that sort of thing. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of scrolling through. Patrick said he also has a higher female sub count watch rate. That's because you got that smooth jazz voice.
That golden voice, brings the ladies in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there. He's got that smooth jazz though.
Yeah.
Robert Renee said, I've been really trying to learn analytics. We just put up our first video, and I'm checking all the things working on second this weekend. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you'll look back on it a year from now and be like, okay, we'll make improvements and we'll make things better and all that stuff. But I watch Think Media. It's a channel about like YouTube and growing your brand and Instagram. Do you guys ever watch that before?
Mm-hmm.
We've heard a whole lot about it. Do you watch some of it? I don't watch as much of it.
Yeah, like their big thing is like they're like just press record. They're like just start putting out content and get out 20 or 30 videos, and they're like they're not going to be good, but they're going to get better, and you're going to learn things about watching yourself, and other people are going to point out things, and you're going to just get better over time. And that's something that I've forced myself to do this year is just put out more content, and I'm trying to get better. Because I mean, I had a whole year of like almost slow to like no growth on my channel. Like it was very slow. And then this year I decided to take it more seriously. And my goal was like 2 videos a week, 8 videos a month. Like, if I can't do 2 videos in a week, I can balance it out the rest of the month. And that's really helped with consistency too, is people really appreciate that consistency that you show up, at the same time all the time. So,
yeah. Right. What do you think about this whole idea of focusing just a lot of your time on thumbnail and title? Because I think that your thumbnail and titles are very eye-catching. Is that something that you put a whole lot of time into?
So I'm trying to get better about it, and in the way I think about it is like it's something that it's so funny. It circles back to it's something I've seen on other people's channels, but like. Phoenix Resale Caleb, one day on his Instagram, he put up something like, my opinion on thumbnail and title is like, that's like a trailer to your movie, and nobody is going to watch a movie with a bad trailer. So, you like when people see your thumbnail, they have like a half a second that their brain reads it and it registers, and they're either like, that's interesting, like I need to know more, or it's like, I don't really care about this, I got to move on. But there's so many things that we are trying, like so many things are trying to pull our attention. YouTube, what it is, and like the secret that I've learned and that I keep learning is like, YouTube wants you to have people watch your show, watch your channel. They want people to engage, and they want people to want to watch more videos. So literally, like the secret is get people to watch videos. YouTube will show it to other people to watch more videos, and then they will just keep going. So it's, for lack of like better terms, the more you can get people to engage and be interested in your stuff, the more YouTube is going to push your stuff out to other people. It's like a snowball effect.
Right. Makes perfect sense.
So, I mean, I've read a few books on it. I've watched a lot of videos on it, and I'm trying to get better. And I've noticed that a couple of my titles or my thumbnails have been kind of wordy. And I've had a few people suggest cutting that back. Phoenix was one of them. My better half was another. I've had a few other people, mention that. But it's like I'm trying. If I use words, I try to just do like 3 or 4, and then just like that's it.
Very good point. Yeah, we've been thinking a lot about that too. We're trying to be more conscious about it.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of things you have to think about. So, so yeah, I do put a lot of thought into my thumbnail and my titles. And I actually put up a vote or a poll on my Instagram. I was like, hey guys, I made 2 thumbnails for tomorrow's video. Which,
I saw that.
I have 2 thumbnails for tomorrow's video, and it's a very eventful video as far as my videos go. Like I had Walmart security stop me, like track me down and stop me because they thought I was stealing. And then I had a Walmart employee, she was like, you're a reseller. Like, obviously you're a reseller, and started like talking to me about it. And then she was like, are you a YouTuber? And I was like, yep. And then she started talking about Twitch, and she's like, I hate streamers. And she like went off on a tangent about how she hated streamers. So I'm like, I almost have too many things to pull from for my next video. So I put up a poll, and I was like, which one do you like better? And the last time I checked it, guys, it was at like 50-50. I was like, this is no help to me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like the first one is so much better that people would be more curious about it. It's like, is Justin getting in trouble? Because that's what the last one that blew up happened, right? That people thought you were getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think that was a good combination of like wording and like thumbnail and stuff. Because like my thumbnail, I used the word illegal, and I think that resonated because people were like, what is this about? And then my title was just like Walmart secret clearance denied. So it's like, there was a lot of intrigue, and I didn't think the video was worth putting out, to be honest. I made it, and it was like a 10-minute video. I was like, I don't want to put out this video, but I need a video for this week. So I put it out there.
Worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out okay. I got over 55,000 views on it so far, which is pretty good because I only have 6,000 subs.
Yep.
And I've made over $500 from the video.
Dang, nice.
That's awesome.
But that's not like, not every video is like that, obviously.
Right.
And that really, I mean, I picked up a ton of subscribers, a ton of watch hours, like all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of addicting too, because you want to replicate that success, and you're like, how do I do that? Like, what's the next thing going to be? But you know, you just can't predict it. Like the videos I think are going to be really good. They just don't do well. So
I wonder if there's something to be said about people wanting to know what the result is, right? People are thinking, okay, well, this person's getting in trouble. What's the result? And it's almost as if kind of the hero's story, where the hero is in trouble trying to overcome something, and then they overcome it. And people are just so fascinated by that being told many different ways. That's why, comic books and heroes are so popular. I think that might be something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm no expert.
No, I think there's a lot of different schools of thought that go into it. And like, I watched a video today that was like breaking down how Mr. Beast's videos do so well. And it was like, they were talking about his videos, and then they were like interviewing him on a podcast or something. And, they had a lot of tips like that. He was like, you have to keep people engaged. You have to do quick cuts and quick edits just to like keep people's minds and keep them, keep their attention span. And then like kind of what you're saying, like there has to be like a payoff, like a, so what, who cares? Like, what is the point of this video? What are we going to get from the end of it? And like you were saying, like they want to know what happens at the end. So,
right.
But I saw a good question here by Paranormal Pursuit. That's a new name for me. Thanks for being here, guys. They have a paranormal investigation channel, but they resell on eBay, and they need a good name for a second channel. Flipping Ghost, Flipping Haunted. What do you guys think?
I kind of like Flipping Ghost. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have good like logo possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think? I feel like we always disagree whenever there's like a yes, no, like I would have voted for the other. I actually did vote for the other option in your thumbnail. I thought that the woman asking if you were a reseller was more interesting, but I think I'm in the minority.
Don't ask us.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think you guys could have so much fun with like the paranormal reselling aspect of it, because you could get so many puns, and Khang would be all over this too.
Yeah.
But you could be like, these deals were spooky. So like this garage sale was haunted. It just, I feel like you guys could just have so much fun with it. But yeah, I would definitely put some time into coming up with the name. And there's nothing that says you have to, take forever either, because you can always rebrand yourself later.
Right.
And some people do that, but I think you guys have a lot of opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Greg said paranormal flippers. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Christina asked me what kind of dog. I have a Yorkie Australian Shepherd mix. That's just snoring. I hope you guys can't hear it. Chacho said, "What's up, everyone?" That's a new name for me. Do you guys recognize that name?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you for being here, Chacho. Greg said, "I like how you're good at remembering names." Thank you. I try. I do what I can. Yeah. So, plus, it's I do my best to try to be as personable as I can with people in comments and responding to comments. You guys are pretty good about that too, I noticed.
Yeah, we try. But we've learned very early on that, to know people, you gotta have to have people know you. So
yeah.
Right. Hi, Omniferous. I don't think I know their name, but I have seen their name, and they have popped up and left comments before. Thank you guys for being here. Greg said, Justin, you should check out Charisma on Command. I think you'd be into their content. I have heard of Charisma on Command. I have watched some of their videos because I heard about them through Harry Tornado.
Nice.
You guys ever heard of them before?
Nope. What are they about?
Basically, it's they just talk about how to build charisma and how you, even if you're like an introverted person, you can learn how to have different tactics about how to talk to people and be more energetic and focus on other people. And like when you're doing an interview, different questions to ask to keep the conversation going. Different stuff like that I'm definitely not employing in this interview.
You got to test it out on somebody.
Yeah, definitely not. Kobe said he just started YouTube and have a coworker or somebody who doesn't usually watch your videos and listen to their feedback. It's very eye-opening. Yeah. So how about you guys? Like, do your friends and family, like, do they all know about your YouTube channel and like, do they support you guys? Like, and this is kind of a personal thing. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I'm just kind of curious how other people handle it.
Yeah. So our families know about our YouTube and like, all my siblings watch it and King's family watches it. And so it's funny because like my parents will like text me, like we'll like ask a question in the video and they'll like text me the answer. I'm like, just comment it. It will help me if you comment it. But I'm not sure that they have like an official YouTube account to, comment things. But so it's always funny because they'll text us and say, this is the brand or like, this is the whatever or stuff like that. So
yeah, it helps us get the watch time hours too. We're at this point, we're on track, but we do need the watch time. So it's good for them to help us out.
Yeah.
Okay. So for anyone that is in the chat that doesn't know, we'll talk about monetization really quick, just so we can get everybody on the same page. So to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and then 4,000 watch hours within a 12-month rolling window. And what Camilla and Khang are talking about is they're trying to build up their 4,000 watch hours. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to their channel. Check them out. I've got their link in the description. Make sure you subscribe. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely, make some playlists, watch their stuff. And if you don't have the time to watch it, but you can still listen, that still counts as watch hours. And I'm sure they would definitely appreciate your guys' support.
Yes, most definitely. Yes, please and thank you.
So, it's a thing too. Like, watching your watch hours and watching your subscribers and stuff like that. Like when I started to get serious, kind of like this year, like when I started to get serious about it, I made like an Excel sheet and I was like, okay, I have X amount of watch hours, I have X amount of subscribers, and here's my percentages and all that stuff. And once I kind of got going, and then once I hit on this niche that I've been very successful at, it wasn't that big of a concern anymore.
Right.
And really all it takes is like one video and you guys are putting out consistent content and you're doing a great job, and you just never know when you have a video that's just going to hit, and it's just going to hit like wildfire.
Right. Yeah. So we gotta try different things because at this point we've got 48 videos and none of them have quite taken off, but we have like these sparks where we think that, we're onto something. So thanks for the encouragement for sure. Cause we are, we don't have super ambitious goals. We just want 1,000 subs by October. So 100 per month, and then hopefully get monetized by the end of the year. So it's not like we're trying to do this fast and furious, but we definitely would appreciate everyone subscribing and watching and helping us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want everyone that is making YouTube videos, that is putting in the effort, that's putting in all that work. I want everyone to get monetized because we all, there's a tremendous amount of work to edit videos, to record videos, to do a good job, your keywords and descriptions and all that stuff. But at the same time, YouTube is making 100% of the ad revenue. And for anyone that doesn't know, when you get monetized, you earn 55% of the ad revenue that YouTube takes in on your behalf. Wow. So if you're not monetized and you're making videos, Google and YouTube is making 100%. So if we can get you guys to that monetization mark, or anyone to that monetization mark, then you guys make 55%, and Google then makes 45%, and then you're just you're making money for stuff that you were doing anyways, and you enjoy doing that stuff. So, I want you guys to get monetized. I want everyone to get monetized because it's a lot of work. And I want to make sure everyone is, earning at least some kind of dividend for that time and energy that they're putting into it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, kind of got off on a tangent there.
No worries. I mean, we're all very passionate about this. We have very much kind of let our lives kind of revolve around this reselling thing. And, the funny thing about how we are trying to, so many different small things is that we're trying this garage selling thing, and we're watching a lot of your videos, even though we're not doing Amazon, because we want to be part of the community and consume the content and learn, because we might do Amazon in the future. Right. I mean, it's always good to learn about these things, but I think, we're trying to shift our focus at this point. We're almost 6 full months in, and we're really trying to carve this other niche out now where, there are a lot of clothing resellers, but, we just have to try to put a twist on it to see if we can make something different work. Right. So I think we are going to focus a lot more on clothing reselling content and kind of trying to educate people on financial independence along with it. So that's kind of our shtick. So hopefully people kind of stick around for that too.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're already over an hour into it, and we haven't really talked about that too much.
We've had such great conversations.
Yeah, I mean, it's just time flies when you're having fun, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat, just making sure I didn't miss anything, but I know we have a hard stop coming up here. So we have about 10 minutes. So, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to promote? What do you guys have coming up? What's going on? What's, what else can everyone learn about you guys so we can get interested in checking out your content and what we can learn from you guys?
So to start off with, the first thing that comes to mind is that we are going to kind of challenge the community, the reselling community as a whole, to kind of, if they're not already doing it, start investing in, just something that will help them continue to make money. So they put in, all the resellers that we know put in a lot of effort to make money, and hopefully they're either saving some of it or investing some of it. And part of this whole financial independence journey of ours is we rely very much on index funds so that the money can make money. And so we want to challenge everyone to kind of do a little bit at a time. And one of our ideas is to kind of help track, $20 a week or $50 a week to see what that can actually play out and see what, what that builds up to as far as dividends, kind of reinvesting itself and kind of seeing what that looks like in real time. Because I think that when people, and over time, right? I think that when people hear about, 30 years from now, your money could be, 10 times as much. Well, people aren't really that interested the first time they hear it. They got to hear it a lot, and they got to hear it week after week to see what the progress is like. And so I think that maybe that's something that we want to try to do to challenge people, but at the same time, we want to have fun with it. And, we see a comment, Dogecoin to the moon. And it's like, just kidding. Just kidding. Definitely want index funds. But, we try to have fun with it too. We're trying to put a good spin on it because we don't want it to just be boring, reselling content. We want it to be either entertaining or educational.
Right. Yeah. And those things don't always go together, talking finance and then having it be super sexy and interesting. But I think those things are interesting, but maybe that's just me. I'm not sure.
Well, you're an accountant, and we kind of have a very much, numbers-based mind. So it's totally cool that we have that connection. And, hopefully we get to talk about more financial independence stuff. I don't know. We took up a lot of time talking about reselling stuff, but there's definitely... I think there's definitely a lot of that mindset. So financial independence to me is like a very mindset based thing. It's not just about numbers, right? And I think the reselling community has a lot of those good foundations. So I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely, there's definitely a lot of overlap, right? Like people are putting in all this extra work to make extra money, but at the same time, like, what are you doing with it? Are you saving it? Are you investing it? And maybe that's a good overlap for a conversation. If you guys talking about we're trying to hit $1,750 a month in profit for our 21,000. Maybe you could talk more into that and put that into your videos. Like we're 50% towards our goal or 75% towards our goal. And like, here's how it's getting us to where we want to be for the year. And, here's what we're going to do to stay on track or be different or whatever. But maybe there's some ways to kind of get the financial discussion going, and then you can talk about it in more ways and then get other people invested in it too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Those are good ideas. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably,
no problem.
Yeah. We'll probably put that in there.
I'll send you my mailing address and you just send the dividend there. That's fine. Real quick, I know we don't have a lot of time. I do want to say hi. Johnny, Cajun Roots Reseller, is in here. And he was just telling us, this comment says, Justin, I got monetized in the 2nd of this month. I have to say, I'm shocked at how much I have made this month already and going on last week. That's awesome, Johnny. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Wow.
He must be getting ready to buy a Lamborghini or something.
Yeah.
He must be doing good. But Johnny has been a huge help to the reseller community in general.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a huge help to me. He always has different guests on his channel as well. So make sure you guys check him out if you haven't already.
Yeah, he's the one that has the morning show, right? We don't ever get to go on there because we're at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go on there, but don't tell our bosses.
Right. But yeah, Johnny does a lot for the community. So I'm glad that he's monetized and he's making some money. He does a great job getting reaching out and getting other people on his channel and stuff like that. Dalton said, hey, Dalton's in here. He's been killing it with shoes and stuff.
Nice.
Greg had a good comment here. He said that I think people really like couples. I've noticed that thumbnails with a girl in them seem to do a little better than without, and all of your guys' thumbnails look really good.
Hey, thanks so much, Greg.
Yeah.
So think he hit the nail on the head. If I had a beautiful lady to have in my thumbnails, I would, but I'm just not blessed that way.
That's why you have, all those other types of thumbnails where it's showing the thing that you're about to buy and it's pointing to the thing that you're about to buy and it has this really engaging text. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the alternative, right?
Right.
And that works.
It's not clickbait if it's real. Like if you
Exactly.
if you provide what you're teasing, then it's not clickbait. I feel very strongly about that.
Right.
We agree, definitely.
Yeah.
It's gotta be in the video somewhere.
Right. As long as it's in there, you're good to go. So I'm just kind of scrolling through comments here. making sure we don't miss anything. They said hand tools, power tools, home goods like laundry detergent, this sort of thing are great investments if you think next 2 years are going to be inflation city because they're useful and sellable. Yeah, I mean, if you can get that stuff at the right price, that's definitely good things to pick up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're closing in. I think we just got a couple minutes here, and thank you guys for being here. Go ahead, last thoughts, whatever you want to talk about, or whatever you want to put out there.
I don't know if you want to continue any of this chat. We've been going for an hour and a half. We could go all day with talking about this type of stuff in financial independence, but I can just go drop off the shoes that I'm trying to sell and then come back. It's going to take 5 minutes. Camilla can stay on if you want to continue chatting, but otherwise we're totally okay shutting this thing down. So what do you think?
So how about this? Like, I love putting up my Chancellor Palpatine meme where he's sitting there and he says, "I love democracy." So we'll go ahead. We'll leave it up to the chat. If you guys want us to keep going, if you want us to keep hanging and ditch Khang, and then just be me and Camilla hanging out, at least for just 5 minutes, you guys can put a 1 in the chat down there. If you guys want us to hang out for a bit more, because I'm cool with it.
Yeah, we'd love to talk more about financial independence because that's kind of our thing, kind of strategies behind that. If you guys are interested, because I know that, Justin, you are kind of thinking about that a little more. We'd love to kind of pick your brain on what you're working on and things like that. So let us know in the chat. But I will be back in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm getting a lot of 1s here, and we're losing Khang, so I think we're good. So, Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through. I did put your guys' link in the chat again. So if you guys haven't already, please check out Camilla and Khang, their channel. Talking about, reselling clothing and all sorts of different stuff. So what is your favorite category of stuff to sell in, Camilla? Is it clothing, or do you have a different category that you have a favorite, or is it just because you guys are like really good at clothing, you just kind of stick with it?
Yeah, I think my favorite is clothing. So the way I started was really just vintage clothing. And I think that is my favorite to sell, just because it's like, if you don't rescue it, then it's just gone, and it's, vintage clothing is really like art almost at this point, from the way that they make clothes now. So it just feels so like, I don't know, rewarding to be able to rescue that type of clothing. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, and if it doesn't get, if people don't buy it at the thrift store, I see some thrift stores where they take the stuff and they I don't know, they turn it into a cube and then they like ship it to other countries or something.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And actually, I've heard that is like not good for the other countries, because then, people don't produce clothes within that country, and so they lose out on those jobs. But then I think a lot of places, like, they just recycle the fabric. So, they'll unravel it and then it turns into other clothes. So I know, like, I volunteer at a thrift store once a week, just a local one. And that's what they do with all of the like damaged clothes, is they'll package them up and then like a recycling company buys it from them at like a really low cost. So I think that a lot of thrift stores do that.
So that's a new thing that you just said that I hadn't heard before. So you actually like volunteer at a thrift store?
Yeah. So locally we have a the organization is just like a ministry of it's like a Christian ministry that has like a food pantry. They have they do like rent assistance and they do like ESL classes. But the way that they make revenue for that is they have a thrift store.
Okay.
And so just a couple weeks ago, I started volunteering like in the back of their thrift store, hanging up the clothes and all of that. Yeah. I'm hoping with like my full-time job, so I work at a church, so I'm hoping to be able to like organize a group to go volunteer there, but I wanted to have experience like myself volunteering there before I, bring 20, 30 people along with me.
Right.
But so it's been interesting to kind of see the back side of things. And actually this organization, I found out after I volunteered for the first time that they also sell things on eBay that they get. So that's like another section of their thing. So I'm like, well, never going sourcing here, because, anything that's valuable, they're selling it on eBay, which is good. I'm happy for them because I think that they deserve the money from that. So.
Yeah, I always wonder about that sometimes. Like when you go into a thrift store and you don't find anything, you're like, do they have somebody that's already doing this?
Yeah.
Or somebody on the inside, I guess. But yeah, that's like a lot of Goodwills do that now too, right? Like they have their shop Goodwill site, and I feel like the store is just like, all right, video games, Legos, like take all the good stuff and like send it to the website.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know how because I'm like in pre-sorted donation. So I don't know in like I'm in post-sorted donation. So like all of the stuff has already been sorted through, the stuff that I'm working with. So I don't know how they're deciding, what's good, what's not on the other side of things. Cause once I get it, it's like, this is not going to eBay. So I would be interested. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're just kind of got your foot in the door. So you're still learning how the whole process and the system works and all that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through the comments here. Desolator Magic said, "Yeah, it's super bad for local businesses in that country when they export the clothes, especially kind of like what you're selling, like or saying, like if they just give them literally just the garbage clothes, and they're just like, yeah, sure, they they don't care, we'll send it to them."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's terrible.
Kobe said, "That's awesome that you do that, but let's be real." First dibs, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been, doing it, and I haven't seen anything that I was really like, I need to, get this or anything like that. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Desolator Magic said, electronics and computer recyclers are the worst for having a side hustle selling on eBay. It's impossible to get anything good off them. I mean, I'm not surprised, like, because if that's their thing, if that's what they're knowledgeable about, I would imagine that they would have somebody do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
But I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah.
So Kobe said he needs more background noise, so that's why we're still here. So Kobe can have background noise.
Good.
So, yeah, I'm kind of chuckling because I'm seeing comments when we were talking about the YouTube thumbnails and stuff like that, and iClaw Machine said Justin is the king of the arrow and a question mark in a circle.
Yeah.
And you know you're not wrong. I'm just going to put that out there.
Right.
But on the same hand, it's like if it works and it keeps working, so I'm not really sure. Like it's hard to if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Gotta leave some things a mystery.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Desolator Magic said he just hit 50,000 subs and been at this for 8 years, and that's awesome.
Oh my
gosh. His channel is focused on Magic the Gathering, MTG for short. You ever played Magic before, Camilla?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'm gonna nerd out here for a minute. I used to play Magic the Gathering. I used to be really good at it, and I have a bunch of cards from what I used to play, but I don't play anymore. But the Desolator Magic watches my channel, and I watch some of his videos, and I go in and it's really funny because he talks about when they have new sets come out or when like rules change and stuff like this, and his videos are pretty entertaining. So I get a kick out of it because I'm like, oh, I understand these things.
Yeah. I've heard that it's really addicting. That game is like sucks you in. Like I had some friends where they learned how to play that game, and it was like that was all they wanted to talk about, which I totally understand. Like when you get into something and it is like so fun. So
yeah, it's one of those things. Like once you get into it, it can just be like a money pit because like they have new sets that come out and like expansion packs, for lack of a better term, but they have new cards that come out like every 3-4 months. And then if you want to play in tournaments, you have to buy an X amount of cards, or you have to have the right ones and all sorts of stuff. And I used to be so into it, but I can't do it anymore. I can't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it is definitely addicting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And Greg had a good comment here. He said, I definitely wouldn't put a store that sells on eBay at the top of my list, but don't count them out. There's always going to be things and categories that people don't know that are worth money. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, most of the time we walk through and we don't see anything, but then like occasionally we'll walk through, I wouldn't think that they would know to sell quilts on eBay or things like that. So
yeah, and that's the thing too, with everyone having a different specialty or a different niche, like the two of us, who's this guy?
I just made $50.
Yes. We were just talking about how the three of us could walk into a thrift store, and because of we all had different knowledge bases, we could all find something profitable at the store, and like something I might overlook or you might overlook, and we could all find something different.
Right.
So, but how'd it go? You're in one piece, so that's good.
Yeah. It was just 2 minutes down the street. $50, Venmo, good.
Perfect. See, now that's something I don't do, and I don't mean like Facebook Marketplace. I do that all the time, but I don't accept Venmo and I don't accept PayPal. Like I'm just like cash only.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and I haven't had an issue yet.
Yeah, and then people always ask me, they're like, "Oh, can I PayPal you or Venmo you?" I'm like, I just take green paper. That's it.
Fair enough.
If they showed up with Monopoly money, I would have to take it because it's
right.
So. But yeah, we were just talking about Desolator Magic was dropping a few comments, and we were talking about how I used to play Magic the Gathering. Have you ever played it before, Khang?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's just an addicting card game, and once you get into it, it's hard to get out.
I know a thing or two about addicting card games, so I don't know. Yeah, I totally get it. I get the idea of role-playing games and things like that, so definitely understand.
Yeah. Johnny said, Camilla, I'm going to make my goal next week to put the quilts I make on eBay. I want to see how they do on eBay, but still leave them listed on Mercari and Etsy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's a community on eBay for quilts. I'm not sure how much you have them listed for on Mercari or Etsy. For my research, it seems like they sell higher on Etsy, but you need to know more than at least what we know about the quilts that we pick up from garage sales and things to sell on there. But I think that there are people on eBay looking for quilts right now anyway.
Yeah, and definitely cross-list them, Johnny, like what you're saying. Like if they're already listed on Mercari and Etsy, just go ahead and list them on eBay, because then you're just going to pay like one more insertion fee, but you might get another sale out of it. You never know.
Right. And if you list them in collectible instead of in craft, there's no insertion fee on them unless you're beyond your limit, your selling limit for the month.
Okay. All right. So Khang is back, and let's change gears a little bit. Since he was heartbroken, we were ending the show. He was like, "We need to talk about financial independence because that's what we're here for," and I'm all about that, man. So tell me what you guys are doing. So you're working full time. You got your goal of 21,000 profit a year. What are we working towards? Are we trying to retire by 50? Are we trying to retire early? Like what's the plan here?
Yeah, we want to retire early. The goal hopefully is around 45 or 50. So the traditional retirement age is 65. It would be fantastic to get 15 or 20 years back. So that's kind of the idea currently. We are shoveling a lot of money into our investment accounts. Most of our investments are about 90 some odd percent are in index funds. I had started investing pretty early on, kind of individually picking stocks, but after reading a lot of financial independence stuff and listening to a lot of podcasts, I basically am all in on the total stock market index. And so that's kind of where we're at. That's our strategy. We kind of like the low and slow type of thing because, obviously I have, some individual stocks are doing really well. If you were on the train for Amazon stock, years back, you're making a killing. I had some, sold it way too early, regrets. But, I have Tesla and things like that, just some that at the beginning of my investing choices, got lucky on. So we don't do that a whole lot. Now we just kind of like the almost guarantee, right?
Sure.
This idea that you're betting on the total stock market index, which is betting on the United States as a whole.
Right.
If something's happening to the United States, you got a whole lot more to worry about than the stocks. So that's kind of the premise behind the total stock market index, and kind of going all in with that. It's just kind of the mentality of what does it mean to invest in this particular thing, which is this range of companies within the U.S. And what does that mean for the long term? So we think of it as investing in the next, we're 70 years. So it needs to last all the way until the very end of our lives. So that's 70 some odd years, hopefully. Yeah. And so that's kind of the idea. That's the basis of it. Right. There's so much more to say, but that's the basis of it.
Yeah. No. So that's good. So you guys are, so what I heard was you're maxing out your retirement funds, like through work is my guess.
Yeah.
You guys also have like a SEP IRA set up. So like you guys can contribute through your earnings, through your side hustle, like that kind of stuff, because you're self-employed.
We're not quite there yet. We don't make that much money. But we first max out our 401ks each. That's our goal for 2021. Right. So currently it's 19,500 per individual.
Right.
So together, hopefully 39,000 by the end of the year, shoveling that money in.
Which is a lot. It may not sound like a lot, but I mean, like that's a lot per paycheck that you're trying to put away.
Right.
Oh yeah. And the other side of that is that we keep our costs super low, right? And that's kind of our business model for reselling, keep costs low. So we keep our expenses pretty low. We're very conscious of those things as well.
Yeah, in general, over, all of our, so like we plan our meals each week, and our goal is like $2 per person per meal, so that we can invest that extra money.
Yeah. So we're finding a lot of great recipes on this website called Budget Bites. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
I've heard of it. I haven't really done a deep dive into it. I think I read about it on a meal prep website or something, but go ahead and tell us what it is.
Yeah, so it's just this website that breaks down all the costs of the ingredients and tells you what it costs per, serving. And we do that well so that we can keep it under $2, like Camilla mentioned. And essentially, we're not eating ramen is kind of the idea. That we try to keep it low, but also we try to keep costs low, but also make very, very substantial things to eat. Yeah. Right. And there are a variety of things. It's not just beans and rice. It's not just ramen. Right. So that's kind of the idea.
You flavor the ramen, right?
Add an egg once in a while.
That's right. Yeah. You're like it's Tuesday. We can spring for some extra seasoning. I got you. Garbage monster. I was thinking that too. I'm like, I don't think so. I remember I have this meme saved that it's like I thought having a girlfriend was awesome until I realized how much you had to feed them.
Well, here's the thing. We do this particular thing so that we never have to stress about a $50 restaurant ticket. It's kind of a balancing act almost. We will often go to, a restaurant to celebrate this or that with family, and we'll drop $100, because we're not stressed about all the other meals that we have to prep, right? So it is really very much a balancing act in that aspect. Yeah.
Kobe said, "What is your candy budget?"
0. Unless
you count chips as a sort of guilty pleasure. Yeah, that's kind of within the same snack. Yeah. The snack category. Yeah. We eat a lot of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get caught on that in my videos because like almost every one of my Walmart videos, somebody's like, "I see marshmallows in your cart, Justin. I see Doritos in your cart." Yeah. So I'm always like, I like snacks. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love snacks for sure. You got to build that into the budget.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You got to have money for the important things.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like you budget quite a bit.
Yeah. So I've got my budget set up. I've got my budget set up. I always adjust it every time I get a raise for my job. I just put that right into my retirement.
Nice. Yeah.
I do my best to, avoid lifestyle creep when I know I'm getting a raise or I know I'm getting like a cost of living adjustment. Like I will do my own internal adjustments to make sure that extra is going somewhere else.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm trying to do what you guys are doing. Like I'm trying to max out my retirement contributions for the year. And for anyone that doesn't know, like the max is like $19,500 for a year, but that is $750 per paycheck. Like if you did it the entire year, that's $750. If you're getting biweekly payments, that's just going into your retirement. Like you're not getting that. So some people just can't do that because of how much they make or because of their bills or whatever.
Right.
So actually, if you're able to like max out your retirement contributions and have a life or whatever, it's like, you must be either really good at budgeting or you're making extra money in some other way. And it sounds like you guys are kind of hitting it from all the aspects there.
Yeah. We're really trying to maximize pretty much every single aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out this comment that Desolator Magic said. He said he had 90 Bitcoin and 300,000 Litecoin in 2010.
Yeah.
If he had held them, he would have had $90 million.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? You
can't think about it too much. You just can't think about it too much.
Just don't beat yourself up over it. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh man, yikes.
But yeah, that's hard to think about too. It's like, I may have had this much.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
so one of the other things that we do is we also max out our Roth IRA.
Okay.
So that's one way I would say if people are starting to invest and they aren't already enrolled in their 401k at work, or like mine is a 403b because I work for a nonprofit.
Nonprofit. Okay.
Yeah. So it might be called something different at your work, but to invest in a Roth IRA, I think that that's a really good starting place, especially in like what's happening in our world right now. We don't, hopefully, if you're a young person, you'll be in a higher tax bracket when you retire because you'll have gotten raises and, inflation and all of that. So that Roth IRA allows you to avoid, you have to pay taxes now, but then later in life when you withdraw that money, it's tax-free. So that's one option. And the max for that is $6,000. So it's an easier place to start, just to start investing there.
Right. Hey, have you given the disclaimer? Hey, don't get Justin's YouTube channel in trouble. This is not investing advice. This is just our opinions. Don't get Justin in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my disclaimer, I have it in all of my videos, even though in my videos I'm at Walmart. But I do have it in all my videos, but I am a licensed CPA in the state of Alabama. So anything that I say, I am not giving financial advice. So don't take it as such, but I can give my opinions and the things that I think. So just to kind of maybe we'll give a little like a little information explainer in case people don't know the difference, but like an IRA is an individual retirement account. And what most people think of as an IRA is you take money out of your paycheck and it goes into your retirement account. And then when you retire, you pull the money out.
Right.
So what Camilla was talking about is a regular IRA. When you have money taken out of your check, that's like essentially that's reduced from your income and you're not paying taxes on it now, but that money will grow. And then when you retire, then that money is taxed as you pull it out then. As opposed to a Roth IRA, which is putting money into a retirement account now, and you're paying taxes on it now, but then that money can grow tax-free over the next 20, 30 years or whatever. And then at the very end, that's when you pull the money out and there's no penalty and there's no taxes because you've already paid the taxes.
Yep.
So
you explained it way better than we could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's always good to understand that each method or tactic has its benefits and has its downfalls and stuff like that. But if you can, I like to max out my Roth as much as possible. So like I'm kind of blessed in the sense that I can have a Roth through work, and then I can also have a Roth IRA individually, like personally.
Right.
So kind of like what you're saying, like I can kind of do the same thing. I can like kind of double dip in that sense, but it's all legal. But for the most part, like Roth IRAs are limited at $6,000 per year because they don't want you parking all of your money in there tax free, because it can grow, exponentially, because compound interest is actually the eighth wonder of the world.
Yep. Yeah. So that's kind of our philosophy as well, where that was the first thing that we focused on this year, the Roth IRA. We maxed that out pretty quick, and then we are now kind of just chugging along with the, for me, I also have a Roth IRA, Roth 401k over at my workplace. So I do Roth over on that end as well. So yeah, great strategy.
Yeah. I want to go through and make sure we're not missing any comments here. And Greg said, is there anything you two splurge on or spend more than you should as a guilty pleasure, like Netflix, for example?
We have a Hulu account.
Yeah. I think we pay for Hulu. I pay for Spotify. I have Spotify Premium. I love listening to music and having like tons of music, all that. Or actually, wait.
Premium.
I think maybe I'm on my sister's account for Spotify.
Camilla, you were so proud of that too. You were like, I have Spotify Premium.
Well, I used to, and then, but my siblings, it's helpful when you're in a family of other people who are frugal, because then you kind of can start pooling assets and things like that. So, but I'm trying to think.
We splurge on food. So,
okay.
I don't know. When we go to a restaurant,
like sometimes you do like $2.50 per meal.
Sometimes $5 per person.
Yeah.
That's more than twice the amount.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, Kenny's like, I'm going to treat you right tonight.
McDonald's.
That's right. You go to the dollar menu and whatever you
Yeah.
No home cooked meals today. Yeah. We're going out.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll sometimes, you know, intentionally go to a sushi restaurant that we love, or, you know, where we know for sure it's going to be more than $30 or whatever, and we're okay with that. And sometimes it's worth it, but I think at the end of the day, we're very intentional about it.
Yeah. And we do spend money on traveling. So that is something, I mean, not recently with the pandemic and stuff or all that, but just like before that, we, you know, went to Norway, and we are hoping to go to France sometime soon. We're not really sure when that's going to be, but
yeah. So we're into credit card hacking. You know about house hacking, but do you do any credit card hacking, Justin?
The points and stuff.
Yeah, not as much as I should. I do use it in the sense that, like, I put all of my business expenses and all of my personal stuff, like, and I pay off my credit cards every month.
Right.
So, like, I'm very intentional with that. But as far as like opening up a new credit card every 3 months or every 6 months, like, I'm not that strategic with it. So if you guys have some information, or if you got some knowledge you want to drop on us, I'm all about that.
Well, we don't have any, we don't go very hard on it either, but you know, at the very least, if people are on eBay, you know, if you have a business account and you're paying off all of your credit cards, like, that's the very base, right? That's the foundation. If you have those two things, then you should be using your eBay account, attaching your shipping payments if you're buying shipping through eBay, and using your credit card to get points. You don't have to do the, you know, take it out of the payments, the pending payments, because I know a lot of people do that. You shouldn't, because you should be getting those points and, you know, racking them up so that you can do free travel or, you know, free restaurants, stuff like that. And that's the very least, right? You know, we do a lot of other things, like, you know, if we see a good bonus, you know, and we know that a big purchase is coming up, they will often have a minimum spend, right? You have to spend $4,000 within three months of opening it. You know, there are ways to do that. You can ask your family members, hey, are you going to have a big purchase? Let me pay that for you and pay me back, so I can put it on this credit card and just get those points and get the bonus. That's the sign-on bonus is what it is. And a different strategy, you know, that we've considered is, if you are going to be paying for groceries, which everyone does, then you buy, you know, so if you can afford it, then you buy grocery gift cards ahead of time, so that you can just rack it up and pay off the credit cards, stuff like that. You know, you got to be creative if you are very much into, you know, hacking this thing, so that you can get all those reward bonuses, because
you have to be very disciplined too.
Like,
to watch that credit card bill and to know, like, I'm going to pay it off this month. I'm going to, you know, and you have to be consistent, because like, you start falling behind, you know, even one late fee, like you get a $50 late fee, like that can just erase all of your hard work, or it can just set you back, you know. Right.
And the eighth wonder of the world, like you mentioned, works the other way too. The interest on credit card payments is a killer. You know, I really hope that, you know, everyone in the chat is being very responsible with any debt that they have. But, you know, this is just something that if you are doing pretty okay and you pay off all your credit cards, this is just a good way to, you know, kind of get more out of credit cards.
So it looks like we do have some late night joiners to the party. So I want to quickly run through and make sure we say hi to everybody, so nobody is getting left out here. We have brother from another brick, short for BFAB. He has a Lego channel. He talks about Legos and a lot of great information out there. I love watching his channel because he's fantastic at editing, and he's a very funny guy. But thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, we should subscribe to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a lot of great information, and his editing is just off the wall. It's really good, because you can tell it's like, sometimes you can tell when you're watching people's videos, like they put a lot of time into the quality of the cuts and the edits, and just like the way they plan it out and stuff like that. Like, I think you guys do a really good job of, you know, when you're making jokes, you cut or you move the screen or whatever. Like, you guys, and that takes time. You guys do a good job with that. But you know, I want to give credit where credit's due, and I enjoy doing that.
Appreciate it.
Miss Ella is here from Save Here
Ella.
First.
Hi.
Just thanks for being here, Ella. You know, I'm a big fan of Ella. She's pretty awesome.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, we love
She is
her.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It cracks me up because she'll go to Walmart and she'll find some cool stuff and she'll make like a video and she's like, this was inspired by Justin, and then she's like, I found this sexy candle and it smells like a man. I'm just like, wow. I'm like, I wouldn't do that, but okay, all right.
Yeah.
She was on Philly Flippers, the live show earlier this afternoon. She's always hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is, and she, when somebody gives a super chat, she got her little dance too.
Yeah.
We got Paul, the sports guy, in the house.
Paul.
Thanks for being here, Paul. Just trying to make sure I'm seeing everybody here. Patrick said, writes this down. Roth IRA, so the max on those is 6K. Also, can you have multiple Roths? So you can have multiple Roths, but the thing is your maximum annual contribution limit is 6,000. So like you could have 3, but then you could only put, 6,000 total between the 3 of them for a total year. So you can't, you can't double and triple dip like that. We have this guy in the house, Joey Bada Bing. What's up?
Joey.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Rebecca is still hanging with us. I haven't seen her name pop up in a little bit, but thank you for being here. Paul is going to go to a Yankees-Philly game in the Bronx.
Whoa.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess Joey's got some tickets. His wife bought him some tickets to a Yankees-Tampa game. Cheryl, the reseller in the house. How we doing, Cheryl?
Camilla Khang.
I like that.
Camilla Khang. I'm just kind of making sure we don't miss anybody here. Kim said, when you hold merchandise, how long do you usually hold, and what type of items do you hold? I'm not sure if that's directed at me or you guys.
Well, we can answer
on
ours.
Yeah,
we try not to have it more than a year. If we have stale inventory, we'll sometimes take it to Plato's Closet here in Houston, where it's kind of just a consignment store. Though we buy most of our items on average $2. So if we can get even $4 for it, we'll just let it go.
Right.
It's like just take it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we will put things on 99-cent auction with shipping and like stuff like that. So we really just try to clear things out quickly, and we've been working on that a lot. Looking at what's the average amount of time that we have certain categories of items, and then once they go beyond that average, just like discounting them down like so much so that we can just keep them cycling through. Yeah,
that's good. You want to make sure you have that balance of listing stuff, and then you don't have too much sitting around. But it seems like you guys are really good about being organized.
Yeah,
we're trying.
Yeah.
So Desolator Magic said, CC, credit card free promos are hot.
Yeah.
That's right. Greg's got a good question. He said, have you guys thought about focusing more on a frugal living credit card hacking channel instead of eBay? It seems like there may be better growth potential.
I had thought about that. I don't know. I just really love this reselling community. I don't know. Yeah. There's just something about it that we are very passionate about buying something for low and selling something for high. I don't know that we can. I know that we can talk a whole lot about frugal living and credit card hacking. It's just, I don't know. This is more interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, I feel like frugal living and, credit card hacking would be more like kind of like teaching in that area. And I feel like right now our channel is a lot of like show and tell, and it's kind of more fun to do show and tell than to like be the teacher. So I don't know.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't have thought about it that way, but you make an excellent point. I feel like I'm kind of a teacher though, because I'm always trying to explain to people like how I'm doing stuff or like what my thought process is. So I don't know. But yeah, that's a good question. That's a good thing to think about. I mean, I've thought about it too, right? Like I'm a CPA. I'm technically speaking, like I'm a financial expert. But I'm kind of nervous about putting myself out there because I don't want to like overstep, or I don't want to, give out too much information and then have somebody, come down hard on me for it. Just, it's kind of a tricky thing because I can't, like, I'm not going to say anything to put my license in jeopardy, you know?
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's something I'm always conscious of too. But I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to incorporate more financial stuff in the future. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So. Nice. Yeah. We'd love to hear about it. We'll stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. And for everyone joining us for the little over the second hour of this chat with Camilla and Khang from the FI Resellers, do me a favor and go check out their channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for them. Don't do it for me. Do it for them. I appreciate it. Chaos has a good comment here. I don't believe credit cards are good financial decisions as they can get you into trouble. So I don't have any credit cards. And yeah, and I mean, I feel like it's kind of a personal choice. Like if you feel like you can handle it well, or if you feel like you're good at managing stuff like that, then it might be a good choice. But if not, then just don't do it. And that's, right. I think it's just kind of a personal thing. I think anything can be a good or a bad decision. It's just how we use it or how we wield it, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. That reminds me of kind of like the Dave Ramsey camp, and that's totally okay. I mean, if people don't want to be tempted by it and they don't want to get in trouble, you just got to cut it out of your life, you know? So that's totally fine.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of Dave Ramsey. I've read all of his books. Like I think he has a lot of really good principles, but some of the things I just don't agree with.
Yeah.
And some of the things I feel like he leans too heavily one way, but he's like, debt is bad. Don't use debt, pay off everything. But it's like, if you're good with it, or if you can handle it, then you can use it to your advantage. You know, not everyone can buy a house with cash.
Right.
You know, so.
Right.
Yeah. We feel the exact same way. You know, we think of Dave Ramsey almost as if, well, you understand the analogy. We said it on Jeff's channel. You know, Dave Ramsey is kind of like, you know, university level, and the financial independence kind of like credit card hacking, house hacking is, you know, graduate level stuff. PhD is what you said. PhD level.
Yeah. No. I got a kick out of that. I thought that was a great analogy. Just kind of, you know, you get interested and you're at this level, and then you read all of the books, and then you're at this level, and then you're like, all right, now I can put my own opinion into it, or I can put my own strategies into it, stuff like that. So, you know, I think it's good to do a lot of critical thinking too, because even if you read all of these books and you listen to these podcasts, it's like you take in all of this knowledge, and you have to like decide what the best way for you to move forward is.
Right.
Exactly.
So. I see another name in here, Amanda Brown. Thanks for being here tonight.
Hey,
Amanda. Let's see. Greg has a question for me, and this I don't know if you guys are going to blame me on this one. Greg says, Justin, do you buy and hold any Lego sets with anticipation of their Lego value increasing? I watch a channel who talks about the Lego stock market and any interest in that type of thing. So yes, the short answer is yes. I am a Lego investor.
Whoa.
And I started at the end of last year with the intent of investing $1,000 in Legos.
Very interesting.
And as of right now, I have 2,800 sets.
Whoa.
So I have spent a little more than $1,000 on Lego, and I have a spreadsheet with everything that I've paid, every place that I bought it from, what day, how many, you know, what the MSRP is right now. And I have quite the investment in Lego at the moment. And, you know, all these videos where I find it all, I've just been storing them.
Wow.
So it'll come to the point probably during Q4 that I start selling them. But right now I'm just kind of hoarding them. And it's Lego investing is a thing. Like, people get really serious about it, and I think what Greg's talking about is there's a channel called Brick Bucks, and it's run by a couple guys, Jim and Shane, and super smart guys, super nice guys. I've been on their channel, like, you know, we talked over Instagram, and I've talked to both of them before, and they interviewed me and stuff like that. But their whole channel is all about Lego investing.
Wow.
Like, they do analysis, like they talk about it like it's stocks. Like, they're like, you know, this one's going to do really well. This one has performed well in the past. We expect this one to do well and stuff like that. But it's a serious thing.
Huh.
That's a niche if I've ever heard one.
Yeah,
Jeez,
seriously.
that sounds really cool though.
But I'm probably going to do some videos about that here in the future. But I'm getting to the point where, like right here, like on Prime Day, I spent like $2,000 buying Legos because I know that these sets are retired and I know that they're going to double or triple in value in like 6 months. So I'm like, I have no reason not to.
Right.
So,
nice.
But yeah, Lego investing is a thing. So you may see some videos about that in the near future.
That's super fascinating. I would definitely watch that.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. You know, we don't dabble in that stuff, but I'm always looking to watch experts do their crafts. Right. Mm-hmm. It's like, or people talk about the things that they're really passionate about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is just so fascinating to me. So,
yeah. Joey, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Garbage Monster said that he's bought a few Lego sets to hold.
Nice.
Right there with you. I've got a few right there. BFAB said the reseller community is so pure and supportive. We try to be, right. You know, we do our best. So
we try.
We try, right. We put our best foot forward. Step Ants in the house. Thanks for being here. He said you're a good teacher, methinks, and I'm trying to help. Looks like I've got a couple other questions here. Emergency Survival Tip said, I'm curious what Amazon does if something doesn't sell that you sent in for FBA. Do they lower it without your permission or send it back? No. So what happens is if you're sending stuff to Amazon, you have to get really good about managing your inventory, because if it sits there and it doesn't sell, they start charging you storage fees. And then they have internal metrics to track how well your stuff is selling. And if your stuff isn't selling, then they restrict the amount of things that you can send in. So you have to control it. And it's like, you have to change the price. You have to figure out what to do with it. And then if it doesn't sell, you can send it back to yourself for 50 cents an item, or you can just destroy it for like 25 cents an item.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So, but it's a management, it's a supply chain thing, right? Like if I send in 100 switches, I know they're going to sell quick. But if I send in 100 like checkers games that don't sell quick, then it's like, okay, do I want to keep paying storage on these 100 checkerboards, or do I just want to destroy them, or whatever I want to do with them?
Right.
Mega Man Wins said subscribe to them because them not you. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
I appreciate that very much. Cheryl said, Justin, do you know any CPA folk that are deep in debt? Not off the top of my head. CPAs accountants are by nature very conservative people, at least the ones that I know. And I'm probably the most outgoing CPA that I know. But yeah, I don't really know anyone that's like heavy in debt. But on the other hand, I don't know 10 million CPAs either.
Yeah.
So, BFEB said, I regret getting credit cards, but that's because I'm irresponsible. It's nice and all, but if you're on a late payment, that adds up. Yeah, that's what we're saying. You get one of those late payments, and it's just like, oof.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
there's something to be said about if you are generally good at paying them off, and you get one late payment, sometimes you can call in, give it a try, see if they can reverse it. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a thing too. If you have a good payment history, like years or months of like paying on time, and you just like slip up, you can call them and just be like, hey, it was a one-time thing, and they forgive it. So
right.
But yeah, flip is right on what you're talking about. I love paying for my shipping costs with credit cards.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
So that's just free money right there. iClaw asked me a question. What do you think of the Mario Legos? And in case you guys don't know, they have these Mario Lego sets, but it's not like the little minifigures. Like they have these big Mario figures, and they have these little boards set up. So it's like the different Mario levels from like the different games and stuff. And some of them are kind of cool, but overall, I think it's not a good investment personally. That's just me. So I don't have a lot of those sets.
Interesting.
So, and BFAB is on that train with me. He said Lego is the perfect investment. You usually double or triple your money, especially if you get the sets on clearance.
Nice. Yeah.
So, but that's kind of how my strategy changed, is because, I told you guys I've been selling on Amazon for years, which I have. And normally what I would do is I would go to Walmart, I would buy up all the clearance, I would send it into Amazon, and 1,000 other people across the country are doing the exact same thing.
Right.
So what happens is when the supply goes up but the demand stays the same, the price just starts tanking.
Right.
And then you have to lower your price to sell it, but then there's 1,000 other people doing it, and you either break even or you lose money, and there's just no point.
Right.
So that was my intentional goal this year, was to buy a ton of Lego sets to hold on to at least for a few months, just to wait out my competition. Some of the sets have appreciated quite nicely.
Nice.
Not every set, and I think I'm going to do some videos on that, kind of talking about that. Some of them have appreciated quite nicely, and some of them just like the price is kind of stagnant. But overall, I think it's going to be a good decision for me. So I'll let you know.
Awesome. Wow, that's a whole another beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about financial independence. Like, I'm going to build my retirement on bricks right here.
Yeah.
Very sturdy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very sturdy foundation.
Yep. But Greg said, I thought you're sending most of those sets into Amazon right away. Not always. For the most part, I've been saving Legos, and I could give you guys a tour and talk about it, but not tonight. So. Ella had a good question. Do you think investing in Hot Wheels is okay, like you invest in Legos? I mean, if you know the market on Hot Wheels, I don't know the market on Hot Wheels. How about you guys?
Nope, not at all.
So looks like I got somebody else that's into Lego investing. He said he's got 500 sets stashed away.
Wow.
So that's
First
awesome.
year holding.
Yeah. All right, here's a question you guys can jump in on. Todd says, what is your thoughts on Facebook Marketplace as another outlet? So I'm assuming a selling outlet, or you could say a buying outlet. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I honestly think Facebook Marketplace is going to be huge, because it already has the user base on there. And so they're not trying to get people to sign up for their platform or anything like that. People are already there. They have needs that, you can sell to them. It's really a matter of, like, right now it's kind of glitchy because it's kind of new.
Yeah.
But the fees are really low. So we've been trying to expand over there, but have to get over our own laziness of like cross listing another platform.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But I think Facebook Marketplace is going to be really big.
It's kind of exciting. It's kind of like the Wild West almost. It's like you're trying to do all these things and trying to make your name and try to sell, or we're trying to sell very certain, very specific things. We don't cross list every single item to Facebook Marketplace, but we'll do some, and especially big items that we don't want to ship. So that's also something that we consider. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think you guys are right. Like, Facebook Marketplace, there's so much potential there. Especially if you can ship stuff, which I don't know why, but I can't. And that's something I'm still trying to work on, but I don't have the shipping option. But, there's already billions of people on Facebook. And then once people get tapped into that market, like, it's just, it's a natural fit. So I definitely think it's going to be a powerhouse in the next couple of years. So if you're not using it already, I definitely suggest getting into it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
So, like, I picked up a couple of things today. Kang, you and I were talking about a little bit before the show started. I picked up 2 different video game hauls today. I picked up a Nintendo Switch used with 1 game, and I paid $180, which is a pretty good deal because brand new they're $300, and used you can usually go between like $250, $270-ish because they're kind of a hot in demand item right now. So I picked up a Switch for $180, and then I picked up a Nintendo 3DS XL for $120. And it's like this limited edition Mario Luigi one.
Nice.
And that's going to sell on Amazon for $300. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, I'm all about Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So Patrick said he's excited for the Lego videos. Me too, man. I just got to sit down and record them. Cheryl said Ramsey has very little relevant advice for peeps considered low income or those who don't come from mid to upper income backgrounds. Using credit wisely can help a broke person build from the bottom. Yeah. I definitely think using credit for people that are responsible can be a useful tool. So
exactly.
Patrick said, thanks for the chit chat tonight. Thanks for coming on. And Greg also wants to see my mountain of Legos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interest building, Justin.
Yeah. It's well, it's so funny we're talking about it. Like, I watched a video on Brickbuck's channel today where he talked about all of his sets that he bought for Prime Day, and literally mine are sitting right here. And I'm like, I have to make a video like that because I did the exact same thing, but I made some different choices, but I have solid reasoning behind it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, or maybe I just think I do. I'm not sure.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Right. Greg said, what are your guys' favorite podcasts or YouTube channels other than Justin that you can't go without watching?
Well, we were going to say Justin, so now we have to think about it.
Right.
So aside from reselling content, we consume like a ton of reselling content. I watch MKBHD. He does a lot of technology type reviews. I watch Harry Mack. He's a freestyle rapper. Does a lot of great content. A lot of positivity, a lot of positive vibes there. Podcasts. I listen to the Choose FI podcast for financial independence related things. Bigger Pockets podcast for financial independence.
Yep. Bigger Pockets. Real estate. Heyo.
Heyo.
Yes.
And I don't know.
On YouTube, we used to always watch the Bin Pickers, and we're so sad that they left YouTube. And we watch some other like clothing resellers, like Becky Park on Poshmark, and one clothing reseller, Mogi Beth. She does a lot of like business, like using business strategies for your clothing reselling. So we like hers too. Yeah. So we watch a lot of them. So, I mean, we could go on. We could have like this huge laundry list of people that we watch. We love watching tons of different people. Like we watch Philly Flippers lives all the time. We love hanging out and chatting with people.
If we want to learn about buying stuff on clearance, we watch this guy called The Flipping Accountant. We watch the Garbage Monster because he's got short clips that are very digestible. We watch McThirsty, who is in Houston.
I like things that are very digestible.
Yeah.
So we can go on and on.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
So how do you? Okay, so this is a question for me. I'm gonna put this follow up out there. How do you guys balance making YouTube videos, making reselling content, doing the reselling, having full-time jobs? Like, how do you guys find time to also watch YouTube videos too? Like there's only so much time in a day, right? So do you multitask? Do you have something going on in the background while you're doing your sorting or pictures or whatever?
Yeah, there's a lot of multitasking going on. I listen to podcasts on my way to work, coming home from work while we're doing reselling stuff, while I'm taking pictures, I'm listening to something. YouTube videos, we often watch at 1.5 times speed.
Yeah. Or if the person talks slowly, 2 times speed.
And so there's a lot of that. And sometimes we're very choosy about which video we watch from a certain YouTube channel. So there's that. There's certain YouTube channels where we'll watch every single video. So we kind of balance it that way. And instead of watching TV or movies, we often watch YouTube just because we want to learn and things that are fascinating to us, stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because we kind of revolve currently the last 6 months since we started this whole thing with Instagram and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We've just been consuming so much content and being really part of the community. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the OmniFerris said the same thing. Like 1.5 speed is the best life hack. That I only watch videos at 1.5 speed. I literally just can't sit there and just do it one time. I'm like, I have to move through this and keep going. And, yeah. Greg said the same thing. 2 times is usually a little too chipmunky.
Yeah.
Very specific people.
Yeah, there's some people I think who purposefully kind of talk slow because maybe there was something, a while ago that said, talk slower because, you're going to talk faster because you're nervous or something. And I think some people do that. And those people you can put on 2 times speed. But most, at an average, pace, 1.5 is perfect. Yeah.
So I'm also, while I'm scrolling through comments, I'm also trying to drop links too. But Patrick Murphy had a question. He said, Lego investing, are we talking like hold 5, 10, 20 years? For like everybody's different, right? But for me, I'm talking like short term, like a year to 2 years, and then I'm just going to unload. And my goal this year has been to buy as much as I can during clearance and then save it for Q4. So because I have everything like on a spreadsheet, I know my set numbers because each Lego has a set number that says what's in the set or whatever. So I can easily check my spreadsheet to see if the prices are where I want to be or if I need to hold them for longer.
Nice.
So
wow, very systematic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's also very time consuming too. It's very time consuming to put them into bins and then to record in the bins and then all that stuff. So I need to figure out a way to speed that up. But if anyone is interested, I'm going to drop a link for Brick Bucks. That's the Lego investing channel that we were talking about earlier.
Nice.
So I'm just kind of scrolling through it here. So if there's any comments you guys see or you want to address, or if there's any questions, let me know. But it looks like BFAB said Harry Mack is amazing. Is that the rapper you were talking about?
Yeah.
The freestyle rapper.
Now weren't help me out here. Were you like on a video of his, or did you give him a lyric or something?
Yeah, so that video on our channel is one that we were lucky enough to get onto his live show where, he took words and he created a rap right on the spot from those 3 words.
Yeah.
Okay. I did watch that. I remember watching it because it was something like you picked out 3 words and he just like ran it into everything. I was like, holy wow.
Yeah. His ability is amazing because he's been doing it for so long and he's refined it so well. So yeah, we reacted to it on our channel. It was just kind of this fun thing. We're just still figuring out YouTube. I think about that and I think, man, I squandered that opportunity. I could have, at this point in time, looking back, I feel like I could have made that video 10 times better.
Yeah.
So whatever. But if y'all want to go watch it, it's on our channel.
That's the power of hindsight though.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So, but while you guys were talking about it, I did find it. It's Harry Mack, right?
Yeah, that's right. Harry Mack.
All right. So there you go. FI Resellers react to Harry Mack. So.
Nice.
It looks like Rocky Mountain Resale Greg just threw me a $3 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Thanks for the conversation. He said, "Nice meeting you, Fi."
Yeah.
Nice meeting you too, Greg.
So, thank you. Thanks for being here and chatting with us tonight. Thanks for the extra money. Going to use that to buy me some more soda or a pop, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other people were kind of agreeing with you guys. Amanda said Rally Roots is another one. Commonwealth Flipper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Greg said YouTube has completely replaced television for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ellis said the Garbage Monster. I dropped his link a little while back. You guys were talking about him. Flipping Flip said Reezy Resells and Richie Hustles are great too. They both have great channels. Richie's channel has been just like taken off like wildfire. He's been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of like retail arbitrage, like the stuff that I kind of put out.
Nice.
But his is like he's putting gasoline onto it because he's doing like 4 or 5 videos a week.
Whoa.
Yeah,
so much work.
No, it is, but he's also he does live, like he goes into like a Walmart and he does like live shopping. Wow. So he's like holding his camera with one hand and then pushing a shopping cart. And then when he finds something, he has to like put this down and then grab his other phone and scan stuff. And I'm like, it takes a lot of coordination, but people are really into it.
That's nuts.
That is nuts.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. He's been killing it, and he's been a supporter of mine, and I've been enjoying watching his channel for a while too. So it's been fun to watch him grow. So he's going to get that silver play button a lot faster than I get mine, but yeah, he's killing it out there.
Nice.
So
yeah.
Oh, he's paving the way. It sounds like that can be done so many different ways, or with so many different channels, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun to watch too, and like other people do it too. Like there's some other channels that I watch too that are it's like just like resell, not resell. It's like just like clearance hunting. And they basically like they go into Walmart and they like live stream the whole time, and they're just like showing you everything that's in there, and you can be like, hey, you know, is there such and such on sale? And they'll like go down and check for you. And and that's fun to watch too. But mine is more from like a reselling, you know, angle. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
someone had mentioned Rally Roots. We really like Rally Roots and all the other kind of like couples, right? Hustling hooks. And just, I don't know, it kind of appeals to us because we're a couple reseller. So there's that. You know, Tay and Katie doing it, you know, their lives and stuff. So we really kind of just try to see as many, try to watch as many of those videos as we can, kind of supporting that scene.
Right. Yeah. I definitely think you guys have a good advantage that, you know, with like a couple, because you guys can kind of bounce off of each other and you can have good conversation, and, you know, you each have your own input and stuff like that. I definitely think you guys have a lot of potential, and I think you guys are doing great. I'm excited to see where you guys go from here.
Thanks. We really appreciate that. We hope to continue to do it. We figured that we could do it for a year. If it doesn't work out, then we'll still be a part of the community. You know, we'll still comment on everyone's videos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, I mentioned this earlier, and I mentioned it before, but I had like my first year of YouTube videos, like I had slow to no growth. Like I went from like 0 to maybe like 500 at the end of the year. And that's kind of when I like changed my mindset. I was like, I'm going to take it more seriously. I'm going to be more consistent and all that stuff. I started watching Think Media. They've got some really good videos. I've read a couple books. I read a book called YouTube Secrets. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's like a $6 book on Amazon, and you can buy it new or used or whatever. But for $6, it's one of the guys that runs the Think Media channel,
right?
And he gives just a ton of great advice about, you know, how to grow your channel and, you know, collabing with other people and, you know, different ways to grow your channel and merch and just all sorts of stuff. And like for me, it gave me a lot of great ideas too.
Hey, when's your merch coming out?
Yeah.
I don't have any. I don't have any like catchphrases, you know, like don't be sleeping on quilts. So
oh man. Yeah, we need to make merch from hashtag don't sleep on quilts.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You guys do for sure. So I saw a comment. Somebody said, "Can we see Bernie?" And Bernie is literally like right here sleeping. So I don't know if you guys can see him.
No.
My dog.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna pick him up.
He kind of blended into the things in your shelf.
Yeah.
Right. Desolator Magic said, I came from content creation and SEO background, so my third video on YouTube got 350,000 views.
Whoa.
That is nuts.
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. That's insane, man. That's great.
Awesome.
Kobe said, Lego my profits.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're putting out merch ideas. All right, guys.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. You know, if I pick that, or if we use that, you get a free T-shirt, maybe a cut of the profits too. I mean, you know, I treat you right.
Yeah.
Like Khang does on date night. I treat you right. Okay. No $2 dinners for you.
Make it $10 dinners and let's split the profits.
Yeah.
Right. And that's Amanda says, got to get those dinners. That's Richie Hustle's thing. Like when he's searching for hot, fast-selling items. He's like, we got to get this Dennis, and I can't even say it the right way, but that's his thing.
Nice. We gotta check out his channel.
Yeah.
And that's see, you can tell there's other people in the chat that watch Richie Hustles too, which I mean, I already know that because I see these people on other channels too. Rebecca's awesome. She's been watching a lot of my stuff and leaving comments and stuff, but
nice.
She says pushing his carriage, that's his thing. He's in Maryland, I believe, and he's moving to Florida. And he calls the metal shopping all-terrain vehicle, he calls it a carriage.
Yeah.
And I call it a buggy. What do you guys call it?
Carts.
A cart, a shopping cart, or grocery cart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, I just prefer buggy because I'm in the South, so.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We're in the South.
Has no one ever called it a buggy in your guys' area?
I don't know that I've ever heard it being called buggy.
Maybe it's just an Alabama thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we got Swamp Picker in the house saying hi.
Hey.
Massachusetts. I'm sorry. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Somebody else calls it a trolley. They must be in the UK because that's the only other place I've heard it called a trolley.
Yeah.
See, you say certain things and people like everyone's listening, but if you say certain things, people like respond because not everyone's like, oh, it's not that. They're like, Justin, it is not a buggy. Let me correct you, sir.
Yeah,
the chat's lighting up right now. People are really triggered by this.
You really hit a nerve here.
Yeah, you never know what people are going to respond to, but if you touch that nerve, they're like, no. Step Ant said in parts of the UK it's called a coohutter. I call it a trundler if I'm feeling fancy.
Well,
those are both two new terms for me.
Yeah, that's all new to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, if it's okay with you, we gotta go in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, that's fine. You got another shoe sale we got going on?
Yeah, well, midnight meeting out in the Kroger parking lot.
Gotta get to bed, bud.
So yeah, I'm just kind of looking through and see now we've touched a nerve. Everyone's clearing us up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Now people are going into Coke Pop Soda.
Oh,
Coke Pop Soda terrain. We all know it's pop. There's not a conversation there. It's
it's pop.
So, buggy or shopping cart in Arkansas. All right. Desolator Magic said a rummage sale, garage sale, yard sale, or tag sale.
Well, it depends on what it is. Like a garage sale is different than a rummage sale. A rummage sale is to me, a rummage sale is a church or like community center hosted something. A garage sale is individuals.
A garage sale is at the garage. A yard sale is on the yard.
Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty clear distinctions.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Jenny just dropped in the chat, and Jenny is one of the people I was talking about earlier. She does these clearance videos. She goes through and finds all of these amazing clearance deals. Like she finds stuff faster than I do. And she's always putting out great content too. So I'm going to drop her link in the chat.
Yeah, nice.
But thanks for dropping in. She's always been a big supporter too. So all right, so we got 10 minutes left with the FI Resellers before it's bedtime, and I'm not far behind you guys. I'm about there. So what did we talk about this weekend? You said you were going to Austin. Is that right?
Yep.
Going to Austin to go to the bins to find more clothing.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just need to refresh our inventory a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about like a death pile? Do you guys have a death pile? Do you have unlisted inventory, or is everything always listed?
So we usually have some unlisted inventory.
Out of necessity.
Yeah. So so after our honeymoon, we picked up, tons and tons and tons of items. And after that, we had this goal of decimating our death pile. And we pretty much did that. We had, we're at the point where we had very few items left. And then we went back to the thrift store just a couple weeks ago and started going back. But we have a very systematic approach to, how we list inventory. We don't, go in any certain order. We don't prioritize anything. It's just like whatever is in the laundry gets hung up, gets listed 6 at a time, because if you do it like that, then you aren't like, well, I want to list this. I don't want to list that. That sort of thing, where I feel like that's where people get into trouble, where, you're only listing your favorite things.
Yeah.
Versus just like, no, this is the order that you're just moving, it's just an item. It's not anything, sentimental or anything like that.
Right. So we don't truly have a death pile. Like, we've seen people and heard of people talk about their death piles, and they're like, oh, I've got hundreds of items. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on with you?
Right.
How do you have hundreds of items?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's maybe some of the traps that we get into. You enjoy thrifting so much that you kind of get into that trap. But we enjoy thrifting, but we keep each other accountable for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's good to have a partner that's keeping you accountable with that stuff, because I don't have anyone keeping me accountable for my stuff right here. So.
Come on, Bernie.
Yeah, he's just chilling back there. So. But yeah, I mean, I think part of it is like what you enjoy the most, right? Like, I enjoy sourcing the most. Like, listing for me is just not that much fun. So I force myself to do it, because if I don't, then that's the bottleneck in my supply chain, essentially. Like, I stop all that work. So I have to keep myself motivated to do that. Like, sourcing is easy for me, but like, it's the listing and the keeping up with it. That's the not fun part for me.
Yeah. Yeah, see, our favorite part is the making money part. So we'll do anything it takes to get us to that point.
Okay. Well, looks like I've got some support here. It's easy to sort, and it's the listing that people have trouble with. I totally agree. So we're gonna go on a 5-minute warning here, because I'm about ready to pass out, and I think Khang's not far behind me. So we're gonna go on a 5-minute warning here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check out Camilla and Khang's channel, the FI Resellers, right over here. Go ahead. If you guys have any questions for us, drop them in the chat, and we will get to them in the next 5 minutes. So tell us, what do you guys have coming up next? What's our next video we can look forward to?
So our next video will be a what sold video. We filmed it, before this. We put one of those out every Monday. And what we do is we cover what sold from the past week. And then we also feature other sellers and what a few, good sales. We call them our community bolos. So we are always looking for people to send us in items that they've sold on whatever platform, and just some information about it, because we only have the categories that we sell in, and we only have our own experience. But we find, if we can feature other people, what they're selling, we learn something, our audience learns something. So it's a win-win all around for that. So people can send that to us on Instagram, on email, anything like that. But we love featuring, especially people who don't sell clothing. This week we have some other clothing resellers, but it's cool to have like other categories, because just learn something new. Yeah.
And the other stuff that we're kind of getting into, I don't know, we're trying to make our content better. So, we're trying not to get too far into a rut of putting out kind of the same kind of content. So we're trying to think of different things, and we're also trying to make it entertaining. So please keep an eye out for that. Hopefully our next our next haul of clothing, we're gonna try to do something funny with it. But if you're into that type of thing where you're trying to learn also about clothing, please follow us. We try to make our content both entertaining and informative.
Right.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of creative videos too. Like, you had the meme video, reseller meme video, which is pretty funny. Where you guys had copycat stuff.
That was really fun.
You guys definitely had a lot of great creative energy and a lot of great different ideas for, like, I think your thumbnails are great. Getting punched in the face, like Summer Slowdown, silly stuff like that. Like, that's, I mean, you guys have a lot of different, great ideas out there. So I think you're doing good.
Thanks so much.
So, Jenny said she's going to support your channel as well. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
Yeah.
We'll have to check Jenny out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's killing it out there with the clearance stuff. I mean, sometimes even if she's not like shopping for clearance, she's just like, hey, I'm gonna go look at the clearance and I'm gonna show you guys. And I'm like, well, I've got 25 minutes to burn.
Yeah.
So, Desolator Magic said, I found out antique yarn is insane. I just made $1,000 on a 1-day lot purchase for $25.
What?
Interesting. I would love some more information about that if you have any.
Right.
Man, Desolator Magic is killing it. We gotta check out his stuff.
Yeah, he's like, what, second video, 350,000?
Yeah.
Teach us your ways.
Gosh. Yeah.
All right, last question of the night. Emergency Survival Tip says, so if any of you guys won the Powerball, would you stop reselling?
Probably not forever, but if we won the Powerball, we'd take a really, really, really long vacation.
Yeah, for sure. And we'd probably slow down. We wouldn't go as hard as we do on reselling. We would only pick up things that we really like, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Like we mentioned before, we do the thrifting for fun. So we find a lot of joy in that. So that's probably going to be a part of our lives.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like what you're saying. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I get, it's not just the monetary value. It's like an intrinsic value. I feel good. It makes me happy doing this kind of stuff. And, I enjoy making videos. I think my bottlenecks are like listing inventory and then editing videos. Like those two things. I might need to figure out a way to outsource those, and maybe I could pump out more content and do other things. But kind of like what you're saying, like, I'd buy a few houses across the world, go on a nice long vacation, and then be like, all right, let's get back to work.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure.
So I think we're going to wrap it up here, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you everyone in the chat. If you guys haven't already, smash the like button. Leave us a comment down below. You need to follow Camilla and Khang. I would really appreciate it. I think they would too.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much for having us, Justin. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate the chat. They've been so engaging. Yeah,
this has been a great hangout. We really have loved being here. So thanks for having us. And
I love talking shop.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's so funny because like I always try to like budget. Like I'm like, all right, we'll do an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and you're like, well, I can do the sale and we can hang for another hour. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you everyone in the chat. I appreciate you guys all being here on a Friday night, and hope you guys have a great weekend and good luck, and we'll talk to you later.
Have a good night.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.